Welcome one and all. We are back. It has returned. EGL is back to bring you the amazing Dota action that you've become accustomed to over the last while. We've had a bit of a hiatus between season 2 and 3. However, you could not keep us away. And now we have returned to see who is going to be the reigning champion, the best declared team within the Dota 2 world here in South Africa. My name's Snare. I'm joined by Notahero. Good sir, how do you feel to be back and how are you feeling in general, fam?
Oh no, I'm so stoked. Like, I'm so excited. Like, EGL's back. The best of the best in the country is here. Like, teams, orgs, everyone came like out of the blue again, and one of them is here tonight. Like, WRG, completely new roster, ready for some EGL action, and that just shows like how special EGL is. Like, an org that hasn't like, correct me if I'm wrong in the chats, but I don't think they've played any other tournaments the entire year. EGL pops up and WRG goes, "We going for it. Let's play." Yeah.
I mean, they're not the only ones, right? Like you mentioned, they reformed their roster specifically to compete in this event. But there's been a lot of other players and a lot of other teams who have been laying low in the Dota universe outside of wanting to participate here in EGL. So the fact that they are back tells you exactly how much currency this tournament has within the South African region right now. And of course, you just mentioned it already, one of the squads that we will have in competing tonight is one of these teams that hasn't played much Dota outside of EGL in the form of Whiterabbit Gaming. Of course, they're going to be going up against a fairly interesting opponent, Royalty Esports, which is another one of these orgs here, Notahero, which has sort of come together specifically to compete within this tournament. How do you feel about their prospects here? Do you know anything special about some of the names that we have in their team sheet? And in general, given that WRG has reformed, do you think they are still actually going to be the favored team to win this one out?
So this Royalty team has been together for a while. I've seen them like play in and out some of the earlier tournaments in the year, and they were also in, I think, the previous EGL. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Griffin X's squad. So it's experience. There is experience in the team, and the guys they're all around the ancient to divine bracket, so they definitely know their way around the game. And as a team unit, like Captain's Mode tournament games is very different from playing a pub. So like there is some WRG skill in this team. Like you've got Billy, Bipolar, Tigers in their squad, which is all high ranked players, but Royalty is on the same page, and I think they've been together longer. So when it comes to like a team cohesion, I actually think Royalty is coming into this with, like, in my perspective, as the favorites, where WRG might be a little bit of the underdog, but mainly because we haven't seen much of them. Like, I don't know what to expect. Like, are they going to gel? Have they been scrimming nonstop? What is the competitive edge here? So that's the main thing that I'm going into this game. I think Royalty is a squad, and WRG need to show us tonight that they are as well.
That's always been the big thing, right? Especially in SA, the fact that we've long since left behind those days where you could just get super high MMR players, put them in a 5-stack and say, sweet, go at it, boys. Like you mentioned, team cohesion has become the determining factor in a lot of these games. And it's very important because it does mean that you're not necessarily relying on somebody to just have that flashy pop-off performance. You're needing and requiring a bit more consistency. You want to see their ideas and make sure that they have a decent enough understanding of what they're actually doing within the game. Especially right now, this meta, we spoke about it on the podcast last time around, that there's a lot of more healing going around from the support position. There's a lot more clarity of purpose required in terms of how you move around the map. All the heroes that are very good in the meta right now do require team strategy to make work. And speaking of which, while the teams are busy getting ready, I know we spoke about it a little bit off air earlier on, but for the benefit of some of the viewers at home, what are we expecting and anticipating in terms of what this meta is going to bring us? We spoke last time around on the podcast. Those of you who didn't watch it, please go check out the VOD, be involved in that conversation. But we spoke a lot, especially about some of these heroes like the Pucks, Dawnbreakers, the Tinies. Why have all these heroes come back into the meta so hard? And what do they give these teams that weren't available in previous iterations of the game?
So we spoke about it, but the main thing is mainly like souls being nerfed so hard. So you can't just have like a pos 5 going to lane with 2 souls in his backpack and just pop them on his carry when he needs to. So like healing is like excessively valuable. And we also aren't seeing this, hey, I'm a carry, I'm going to farm for 35 minutes and then start fighting. Carries need to be online at 20 minutes into the game. Your carry needs to be able to link into these fights, and because of that, the heroes around him are, I would say, more aggressive, and you're seeing more, like, laning phase is done by 8 minutes. Like, people are in the mid lane pushing towers. The action runes are like the main like cognitive swing, and people are running to side lanes and all these things. And that's why Tiny is so popular, because the hero is a flex. I still think in the scenario he can be played as a pos 1, but that's probably his worst position at the moment. But we've seen Tiny 5, Tiny 4, Tiny mid, Mickey in the pro scene absolutely destroying with that hero. Like, I think he's putting up massive performances on Tiny at the moment. Puck is falling into that same bracket, BZM on Pucks. And Puck and Tiny has been heroes on our scene, which players have been very popular with for a very long time. And teams were playing them even when they weren't meta. Like, players like Frank was like, okay, you've banned my Treant, and
here's my Tiny.
Give me Tiny or give me Tusk. Like, let's go. And the rotations and those types of things from pos 4s and like even offlaners are excessively vital. So no more farming until 30. 20 minutes in, your carries need to be able to contribute. And that's how the meta is swinging. And that comes back to this point we were talking about, like team cohesion and team fighting, which it's not more like I've got a really good carry player, we just need to hold out, he'll carry the game. It doesn't work like that anymore. Teams know how to shut down space. They know how to move on the map. Like invading triangles, taking stacks, all these things are crucial pivoting points in the game. And Dota is fast and I like it.
Yeah, Dota's much faster than it used to be. It used to be a case of, like you say, especially in SA, 30 minutes in. Do you remember the dark days, fam? Where your carry player would buy Quelling Blade, hit up the jungle as Lifestealer, you'd only see him at 25 minutes. Oh,
Iron Talon.
oh my god.
I'll see you later, fam.
That time is gone.
Like, just don't lose all our towers. I'll be back soon.
You know, 4 players are queuing Dota. One of them is queuing PvE. They're like, I'm gonna go play some WoW, boys. See you in a bit.
But that's also like the XP nerf to like jungle camps and the gold nerf to jungle camps. Like if you just AFK in jungle, suddenly everyone is 2-3 levels above you. Even though you've got a lot of CS, but they just don't give as much as they used to, and they're harder to farm as well. Like these new iterations of creeps do some wacky things, like they disarm you or stun you for 3 seconds, and yeah, it's just.
So do you want to know how bad it is actually?
Yeah.
So check this out, right? One of the guys that I do the DPC with in China, we ran this test one day, right? Because we were curious as to what's the distribution of gold like on the map with neutral creeps versus lane creeps, right? So you have to, right, just to give you an idea of how strong the lane creeps are right now and how required you are to farm them. If you don't at least triple stack a camp, right? Literally, you have to triple stack a hard camp to get the same amount of gold as one regular camp of creeps, or one regular lane of creeps. That's it. One regular spawn, not even all of the extra ones, just a regular lane. That's all. If you don't triple stack, it's worse than that. If you have to like 2.5 stack an ancient camp to be able to get the same amount as well. It is insane how much gold is available just in the lanes nowadays. So it is not in your best interest to actually spend time farming in the jungle. You literally get more out of farming heroes than you will out of farming any of those jungle creeps for as long as you want. I think there was, did you see that famous post that Jerax put up where he died like, I think it was like 3 times in the game, but he got 50 creeps versus a Rubik that didn't die at all, but didn't have any creeps. And that's like, it was like, I think 3 or 4 times the amount of net worth. It was ridiculous. So the way the game is just stacked up right now, not incentivizing just AFK farming, you have to fight a lot. And I mean, we see that even reflected with some of the heroes that are still getting picked in the meta. Even players like, say, Ana, for example, who plays these super hyper carries, struggling because when he plays Spectre, he used to be able to just, well, I'm going to AFK farm for 30 minutes. Now, even with these Spectre type heroes, 20 minutes, you need to be the one that already has like Manta, Blade Mail, you're getting involved in these fights, putting yourself on the front line, not allowing yourself to just sit back and say, well, the rest of the team will play around me. So personally, I am a fan as well, just like you, of this much faster meta. However, the one thing that I do think it does take away from is sometimes it's very difficult to see some of the teams to determine who actually has a better read of the game, because some of the games are just over so quickly that it's not always apparent that these teams are fully cognizant of what just happened, right? How many times have you played a game, not a hero, where the enemy team has like Beastmaster off lane, puck middle, and you lose one fight, and then half your lane is gone. You're like, oh,
and there's just no way back into the game. Yeah, like,
yeah. Then there's no, the game just ends.
Yeah, the game's kind of like finished, and you're kind of just playing this reactionary Dota because you can never really make a play your souls unless you have like big spells. Just a side note, like to correct myself, this Royalty Esports lineup has completely changed. This is the old Frostbite Esports team. So, been around the block, they've been here for a while. Shazo, Wannabe, Pog Daddy, these lads have been playing in tournaments. They've slowly but surely been getting better. So, yeah, new roster for Royalty, like first time that I'm seeing it. So that's gonna be interesting, and we going live very soon. Like it's coming. But to add to your point, yeah, and I think that's also why these hyper aggressive heroes like Puck, for instance, or Void Spirit. I was watching Amar earlier playing Void Spirit Pos 3, and I was like, okay, OG's lost, and that was not the case. Like this Void Spirit had a massive impact on the game.
I'm guessing it owned the game, right?
So they combo, like, these Void Spirit picks are coming out with Phoenix, because the problem with Void Spirit is, like, yes, he's going to go in for you. He's going to go in, and then he's going to do quite a bit of damage, but then he needs, like, ways of continuously doing damage or getting out. And the Phoenix kind of enabled him to do that. So Like he would go in, and the moment he's in,
Phoenix
a
dive,
Sunray would be on top of
Sunray.
him. It gets
Makes sense.
dicey. Phoenix would pop egg, and now you're like, okay, we can kill those void spirits, but now we're going to get hit by this egg, and it just caused like so much chaos. And Phoenix does absurd amounts of damage. So
Personally, I don't like seeing Phoenix. I've seen that hero too much, man. Way too much. Way too much Phoenix has afflicted me in my time. But fortunately, one thing that's going to be afflicting us next year, good sir, is some Dota. Because the first game of the third season of EGL 1 will now be commencing. New rosters for Whiterabbit Gaming, new rosters for Royalty Esports. However, the same game of Dota, well, not necessarily the same game, but the same degree of passion for our wonderful game of Dota 2. So let us see what they're going to be bringing to the table here with the opening draft of the tournament. Everybody should remember we are beginning in the round of 16. So it's not only just getting each individual win that matters. You have to be in for the long haul, looking towards a marathon. So no matter how well you do on these opening games, you need to make sure you can learn from this experience. So with that, that's the number one lesson here, Notahero. Ban Dawnbreaker. That's it. Do the right thing.
No, but they had first pick though. Royalty has first pick, and the Dawnbreakers. I agree with this. Like, okay, but then I guess you want to like snap up Tiny. Like we've seen this Tiny Razor opening. It's been pretty bonkers. Dawnbreaker plus Clock has been pretty bonkers, but yeah, just pick Tiny first. It's flex. You can put it in multiple roles. But Royalty and them seem to know something. Like they've gone for a Skyreth Mage ban, which is pretty interesting. I haven't seen much Sky at all, except for Secret playing it when Yapsor was still in the iteration. But not a fan of the hero. I think it's probably like one of the heroes that needs the most, maybe like a little bit of a rework or change, because it just, like, even mid skies, like you see them like completely destroy the game until like 50 minutes, and then okay, cheers. And Whiterabbit then does decide to ban this Marcy hero. I heard Seb say today that it's basically a better version of Evesports, like, or an easier to play Evesports. It does the exact same thing that Evesports does, it's just not as hard.
And it gets around the map very quickly, provides that lane pressure. You were talking about how quickly the laning phase breaks down these days, and Marcy can accelerate that timing a little bit, and it makes it so easy to contest runes with that rebound. I'm glad they've banned it out, but I'm curious to see how many of the South African teams have figured out how to work the hero. I think when it first came out in comp, the first week it was terrible in the win rate because teams were just picking it, but no one knew how to play it. Yeah.
And then people started using the jump to like get their carries out of predicaments instead of having it just as this initiation type of spell, just being used to buff people with movement speed, get them in positions which they wanted to be. But we spoke about the Zeus, like Zeus being picked up, so now it's flex, but Whiterabbit opting for a Razor and a CM.
Crystal Maiden. Okay, Crystal Maiden first phase.
Everyone in SA is telling me that CM is broken. And then I asked them why, and then they told me, I don't know, but I'm winning with it. Like, and then you click on his Oaks profile and ranked. He's won like 20 games straight with CM and ranked. And you're like, but why? Like, what did they change? Because I went and looked at it, and like, yeah, there was some like minor tweaks and stuff, but I couldn't like really grasp why this hero was just suddenly bonkers. And I don't think she is, but people are winning with it. So Razor CM, pretty interesting start. I
think she's strong, but I'm not sure she's like first phase strong. The thing I've seen from her normally when I see her these days is that she can help you truly dominate the lane, depending on what the lane partner is. Makes it easier to justify. In my mind, whenever you first pick Razor, it usually should be off lane, but you should have the availability to flex it into the carry role as well. And if they were to run this safe lane, this is a preposterously strong lane. The Razor Crystal Maiden, not much you can do to deal with it. Most of the time, honestly, I do feel like most of what you get out of this hero is in like the first 15 minutes, but it can set you up for such success that the rest of the game becomes so much easier. I'm expecting now some major cap of spellcaster from the mid lane. I do think it's a bit finicky because it does require you to pick heroes that are good with it. You can't just like, it's not like Warlock or Tree or whatever, where you just pick it and decide what you want to do with it later. So in this game as well, there's a lot of damage from Royalty Esports, so need to be very careful about those squishy Maiden. I'm very surprised though. As much as I might like Maiden and think that she's decent, I'm so shocked that they decided to leave Tiny alone, because they could have gotten the Tiny and then just picked up the Maiden second phase. There's no way they're going to ban Crystal Maiden, right? That is just not going to happen. So
100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. And the thing is, like, if my captain picks me CM and the enemy's opening is Zeus plus Tiny, I'm gonna ask him, what did you just do to me? Like, what is going on? We see some good bands coming out though. Like Juggernaut's been seeing a rise in popularity. Like Ursa is still very prominent in our scene. Whiterabbit is banning like PA and Weaver. Like I'm not sure. I think Tiny and like Tiny and Zeus. I guess I don't have really any heroes to get on top of a Weaver at the moment. Like Razor, it's not really like a Razor counter. Like CM has a problem with the hero, but I don't know. Like this Weaver pickup or this Weaver ban is interesting. There's the Void Spirit ban. I think the hero is bad.
That hero is really good. Yeah, it's very good. It's second to Puck, I think. Maybe the rationale, actually, now looking at these three bans, I think they are really setting up for offlane Razor. These are all heroes that you can't actually pressure out of the lane because they never get affected by Link, and they have some kind of way to either close in the range on the Plasma Field or outrange it completely. It's actually kind of hilarious, like how you deal with Plasma Field. Just jump on the Razor, and he's like, well, didn't expect that. That was an interesting direction for you to go. So that might be the rationale, especially now with this Lone Druid ban as well. But Lone Druid gives them two things, right? They probably want to prevent like high tempo coming out of Royalty Esports as well. So this Lone Druid hero, 20 minutes with a decent enough build, you're suddenly knocking over buildings, and they've got beef with the Tiny. It could have been quite decent. I'm glad that they have snagged themselves with Clockwork though. I was very worried about their ability to start fights the way that they were stacked up beforehand. So now you not only have ability to start fights, and you can close gap on Zeus, right?
Yeah, Clock is like my favorite hero this patch. Like, he's obviously a little bit worse against Zeus than recently because of the Heavenly Jump, but it's just like good hook shot, cog push back, the CM freezes you. Like there's follow up. It also sets up for Razor to link targets, and the hero is also a flex. Like we saw Tundra play this as a mid hero, and it looked bonkers. Like Orchid Clockwork just running around the map killing everything. But it's probably going to be pos 4 with CM pos 5, Razor pos 3. Like you said, it's good team fight for them. It's good initiation, but I want to see WRG now get something that can secure a kill on the cogs. Like CM freezing you and Razor linking you. It's a target dying very slowly. It's not like I've got this guy, he's instantly dead. They need some form of burst. They need some form of team fight. And the problem with WRG's draft at the moment, I don't see a win condition for them at the moment. Like on Royalty Esports side, win condition is easy. But this is a Tiny mid. If he has a good game, there's your win condition. Tiny's going to put so much pressure on the map, your other heroes are going to come online. If it's not a Tiny mid, Zeus can do the same thing. WRG needs a clear win condition at the moment, and I'm not sure what hero is going to fit into that mold.
Let's see. They still need burst for themselves. They have last pick, so they have that kind of option later on down the line. So it does really depend on what their fourth pick is going to be here. I really love the direction that Royalty Esports is going. This Winter Wyvern provides them some lane pressure, some team fight breakup. I've been feeling that not only is it really great to have your 5 position provide heal for the lane, which Winter Wyvern can do, but also provides team fight counter initiation. All right, all that stuff is out of the window though from Royalty Esports. Your draft sucks. I hate y'all with all of my heart. Unfortunately, though, I have to admit that this is actually a pretty decent Pudge game. Clockwork and Crystal Maiden really hate playing against a Pudge. Neither of these heroes deal well with movement displacement. Razor can help deal with the Pudge in general. However, Razor wants mobility in the middle of the teamfight. Pudge denies that to you even when you have BKB. With this now, they have 2 sources of BKB piercing disable, 2 sources of quick initiation at the Tiny Pudge, 2 very beefy heroes in the Tiny Pudge, and they have some very strong lanes where they don't get run over even if they don't do as well as they would like to.
Pudge also doesn't care. Nice. Pudge also doesn't care if Razor links him. Like, his damage doesn't come from right clicks.
And pre-BKB, you actually kill yourself as Razor.
Yeah, I would have actually wanted a Grimstroke instead of this Winter Wyvern. Like, I understand the rationale. It's like BKB piercing. It's like a save mechanic, but like Grim plus Tiny, Grim plus Pudge. If you wanted to be go for this Pudge, anything that gets hooked dies. It's still BKB piercing or like lifestealer piercing by linking him to someone, but Inkswell plus Tiny is just too good of a combo. And Zeus double bolt. Yeah.
If you cold embrace onto the Pudge, right? While Pudge has Rot active, do I take Rot damage myself as the Pudge?
Well, I think it out heals the damage, but you'll still take the ticks. So. Okay. Yeah, but if you activate Flesh Heap and then do it, then you'll take
you take 0 damage, yeah.
What is this Pudge's role though? Because if I'm this Pudge, that lifestealer pick, I don't want to be in that lane. At all. It's
I think it's not
Life
great
stealers.
given that you're also playing with Tiny, right? Tiny Pudge as a fire at 3/4 feels a
Or
bit awkward.
yeah, or Zeus Pudge. Like I don't
Real
know.
talk, real talk. I would play the safe lane if I was Royalty Esports. You put the
Carry
safe lane
Pudge.
Pudge, have him, yeah, sort of like
Yeah, yeah, I like
have him
that.
play the sort of beefcake, soaking up all the damage, make space for the Zeus and or Tiny from the mid lane. If it is carry Pudge, I would prefer Zeus mid. Then you just go like an absurdly high magic build on that, and then Pudge can just waste all the time of the BKB on Razor. Dude, this actually might be one of those games where
I
Lifestealer
like
has to
that.
buy BKB. This doesn't seem like a fun Lifestealer game. I'm actually really surprised they picked Lifestealer here. I think they were anticipating that it's going to be Pudge in the off lane, but
Yeah, it still doesn't give them that win condition that we spoke about.
Hmm.
Like, you're banking on Clockwork, like setting up your entire game, and this Razor getting massive. They need a clear win condition. There's the puck ban, which I actually think would have been good for WRG. I see Petunia is in the stack here, and I'm just not sure where he's gonna be playing. If it's gonna be mid, off lane, or carry. But if it's mid, Petunia likes he likes heroes like like Leshrak. He'll play this Razor any day. But not sure what they're going to be going for Petunia. Let's see what the ban. There's a Timbersaw ban. So they still assuming this Razor is going middle. Or I guess they could have chucked the Timbersaw mid. Like then it's probably like Pudge or Tiny mid, and they just wanted to give it a good lane. So,
yeah.
But I like what you said. I think they should make this a carry Pudge, and you just like pick yourself an off laner that can apply pressure to this Lifestealer. Yep. Snipper ban.
Dude, if they pick Slaughter here on Royalty, this game becomes like honestly game breaking. Yeah. I actually don't think they can use it.
The only problem is that there's no real like capitalization of Slaughter's ulti apart from Slaughter himself. I guess Tiny can chuck a tree at you, but
you just grief the Lifestealer lane and you just like whatever. And then,
yeah, just keep punching him over and over again. I like that. No,
how do you feel about Night Stalker in the off lane from their position after Royalty?
The lane is going to be like it's going to be bad, but in the general sense of the game, I think it's pretty good. Like, he can kill the CM at all times. He can disrupt Clockwork in the game. But they need something they can play with. Like, they can kind of, like, be by themselves because... Oh, no, offlane Pudge. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Like, this Lifestealer is going to have a free lane now. And they can pick up something to set them up for, like, the mid-game now. They can do, like, Ember. Like, Ember can hunt with this Clockwork plus CM. It's laning into... If it's laning into the Zeus, it just doesn't take Flame Guard. If it's laning into the Tiny, it should be fine as well. So, Ember is pretty decent, but otherwise, like, what other mid laners at the moment? Like TA? I guess it's against Pudge, not that great.
One of the few games I've seen of Storm Spirit win recently did come with a Crystal Maiden as support, as some kind of like
compensating for that mana problem. Okay. There's no real like lockdown on their team. Like, so Storm can work because Tiny is like the only source of stun, and then Pudge can bite you, or Winter Wyvern can alter you. But that's big commitment for a kill. They need something mobile, like they can play with this clock, because all their heroes are like very static, and it also can't be too greedy because then you're running like a full tricore. But Royalty did pick probably the worst carry in the game in the form of Morphling, so...
I actually cannot tell you, right? I actually don't think I've said a positive word about Morphling in months. So, and today is not going to be the day that changes because I really hate that hero. I think he's terrible. Even the fact that he's like nominally good against the Lifestealer, I am not really a fan of in general. But at the end of the draft here is a hero that I am a fan of. I've been a bit disappointed in his performances of late, but we get the Mars here for Precious Petunia. This is going to be some of their movements around the map, some of their team fighting. They just needed a hero that could buy Blink and go. Buy Blink, get BKB, be involved in the fray of the fight, soak up some attention, create space for this Razor to run around with the double Eye of the Storm eventually, give them some degree of lockdown outside of just the Clockwork. It's still, in my opinion, doesn't feel necessarily enough in the sense that WRG is now in this issue and situation where they require perfect execution. Imagine a fight here, not a hero, where they miss a spear. That's it. Suddenly, game is hard. You already have this Morphling hero who can get out of your arena anyway. And you have one of the good things, I will give Morphling this. He is playing into not only just Lifestealer for the right clicks, but Razor as well to steal away damage in the midst of these team fights.
That was probably the whole process with this Morphling pick is like I can become Razor, I can link them back, or I can become Lifestealer and I can use Rage. So that was probably the thought process with this Morphling pick. So like I wouldn't say it's not an intelligent pick because it definitely is.
Just the hero's back.
Because on paper it looks great, but the hero just hasn't been winning. Like it's just been so bad. The biggest problem I have here is like this Pudge can't lane against this lifestealer, and that requires like this Tiny to sit in the lane. Like he's not going to be securing runes. He's not going to be making rotations onto this mid lane. Like this pos for Tiny is kind of now locked into the lane because if he leaves, Lifestealer just kills Pudge. Or I think if he stays, Lifestealer maybe even kills Pudge anyway. But it's just kind of locked your pos 4 into a lane where he wants to be roaming around the map, causing space or creating pressure.
So here, Notahero, as we begin the first game of the 3rd season of EGL 1, put it on me. Who are you going to be giving this victory to? Which draft do you like more? And which draft is going to be taking this first and very important game of the season?
I'm going to give it to WLG this game, mainly because Morphling Pudge in the same lineup feels really wonky. It feels like you see that strat in the pub where like when Morphling could turn into allies and you would turn into Pudge, put Rot on, and Pudge eats you. But Ags was changed, can't do that anymore. But that's kind of what it feels like. And this hero's win rate is not that high. Like I said as well, like I wish this Winter Wyvern was a Grimstroke instead. It would have allowed them to play with like pace and tempo. But Royalty is now in a situation where Tiny needs to set up a kill for you, or Pudge needs to land a hook. That's the only way you're killing someone, is Tiny or Pudge. Like there's no other way you're killing anyone. Where on the side of WLG there's multiple tools. Clockwork and hookshot in with a lifestealer bomb, if that's the way they want to go with it. Like Petunia on this Mars, he can like spear people back or spear them in the arena. Razor can just run you down when he has BKB. So I just think it's an easier executable draft by WLG than Royalty. What's your verdict?
My verdict is much simpler, fam. I see Morphling, I hate the draft. I don't have to think about it that much. But on a more serious note, I fully agree with you on everything you said. And in addition to it, something that they have on the side of WRG that Royalty somewhat lack. Royalty have, unless they get a lot of farm on this Morphling, they have a pretty difficult time sieging Roshan at most points in the game. And they just have a rough time pushing buildings overall. On the side of WRG, there's multiple ways and avenues that they have of de-pushing the wave. And Royalty just have to work a lot harder to get the same out of the map that WRG is going to be getting this game. So I also feel like WRG will be able to win this one out. And their draft is just a lot more punishing of mistakes. Morphling drafts are not very friendly at all. You die like 2-3 times. It's sort of like Tinker in a way, where you start losing and the game is over and there's a hook. Will it land? Yes, it does. And Bipolar will find himself being brought down here. They smoked up as an entire team to make sure that they would have enough heroes in position to make that play. And they get him immediately. He's like, all right, boys, I know what's up. I know what's happening.
Nice little first blood there by Royalty. The other thing I want to mention is like Winter Wyvern, I feel like the hero excels when he's got things that can follow up off his curse. Like we saw like a few years back, like you saw like Wyvern Mirana as a combo, and it would literally just be a Winter Wyvern ulti into an arrow. And I don't really like. I guess you can follow up with Tiny here, but there's no real big like follow up off the ulti. And the heroes on WLG don't necessarily right click hard except for Lifestealer. Like who's gonna like kill? If you ulti CM, she'll die, but I think the rest survive.
I mean, hell, by the time you ulti the clock, most likely there's cogs drop down already, so you can't even just get past them immediately to get your pressure out. So certainly is going to be a problem as this game scales longer and longer, as in the top lane. We are already starting to see the impact that this Lifestealer CM lane is going to have in this game. Just immediately running down these heroes, and literally nothing they can do about this. You see this happening to you, and you're like, well, all right, at some point in the game, as this Pudge, you no longer become bothered by the Lifestealer feast, but in the laning phase is not that stage. So for now, it does become a lot easier for WRG. So I think the best way to play this game for Royalty, just stay back, stay alive, get as many levels as possible, and eventually try to have some impact in this game. But let's talk about the most impactful lane here for Royalty Esports, which should be this mid lane, where if Pog Daddy does not get off to a decent start on the Tiny, he is everything for them. He initiates fights for them, he provides control, he gives them their tempo. Yeah, he's the win condition.
He's the win condition. This Tiny needs to have a good time. Like the supports need to try and secure these water runes for him when they can. when the action rune comes out, they need to make sure they pick it up. Razor doesn't necessarily want to be rotating for runes. Did he fly out a bottle? He actually did, so he's probably going to be topping it off. Bottle Razor.
Yeah, man.
Mid Razor.
Welcome, the future.
He also skilled the level of Storm Surge already on the Razor, which is very Yeah, usually like in these types of matchups, like you just max Plasma Field and Link, and just harass with both of those spells. But Pop Daddy's doing well. The moment he gets linked, like the Avalanche just comes out, and that's also a reason why the level of Storm Surge is really puzzling, because you're not going to catch this Tiny. Like, he is going to, like, chuck you away from him. He's either going to run at you and just, like, toss you away, or he's going to just avalanche and run. And just ensuring that you could harass a Plasma Field would have been, I think, a better, overall better. And it's securing last hits. Like, Tiny's got a very high base damage. Razor's attack animation is a bit wonky. I know some people say they love it, and others say they absolutely hate it. I think it's terrible.
It's so great. Honestly, I'm in the former camp. I really enjoy this animation. But I have like a bajillion games on Razor. It's fun. Bottom lane, as you mentioned, we have a little bit of engagement here. It's just going to be a quick cold embrace onto Odyssey with some right clicks flying out onto Billy. Clockwork Mars. This lane was very strong for quite a while for various reasons. One of the reasons being how difficult it is to close either of these heroes down. Zeus. Oh, is he gonna die? Nice find, dude. He's fine, dude.
Heavenly jump is an ability.
Exactly. And it's so weird. Like, heavenly jump, and he's cool.
When they made the change to this Zeus, everyone was like, "What is this nonsense?" Like they took away all the damage and they gave us this little Mario jump, and I think it's actually his best spell. To be honest. Like it's really good.
I agree. It's one of the things, it's the only reason in my opinion that Zeus is actually being played as much as he is. Like the damage output the hero can provide for you. Beforehand it was like a Faustian bargain. I get the damage, sure, but I'm super squishy as a result, and I'll always die if I get looked at wrong. But now you get to keep all that damage, and you get an incredible mobility spell, which is remarkable really. So Rasputin also going to be rotating mid just to get the tiny bottle refill on the juice. I'm still a little bit puzzled by this pointer to the Storm Surge. I wish he'd bought a Windlace instead, but whatever. This game, though, for this Tiny, one thing I want to ask here, which are you a fan of in general? Do you like the Blink Dagger Rush immediately, the South American style, or do you prefer the more Mickey style of building in the Echo Saber first every game?
So, Mickey has recently been like completely skipping Echo. He's just been doing Blink into Ags, and I think it's awesome. Like, I think it's so good. Like, and I'm probably a bit biased towards it because my previous mid Sparkles used to just do, like, Blink, and then if he was having a good game, he'd go Echo then, but otherwise it would just be Blink Ags, and he would just decimate people. And like Mickey, like he played a few games today, Tiny, and every game he was just doing Blink straight Ags.
Ooh, this Tiny might actually get a kill in this mid lane. Phoenix, okay, does have a Fairy Fire and some bottle charges, so he's okay. Nothing going south there. Talk to me about this bottom lane. Unfortunately, we have to still eventually mention him. Odyssey on the Smurfling. One of the reasons I think this hero's also fallen off so precipitously has been that back in the day, when you still had that incredible E-Blade, your options were, I'm going to go for this E-Blade rush, or I'm going to build like some kind of Ags cheese strat with high amounts of right-click damage. Nowadays, though, the hero doesn't have like auto-win conditions. So what do you think? What's going to be the actual build for him there?
I think like, mid lane, what's going on there? No, nothing. I think the change they made to Morphling's Ags is horrible, and I don't know like why they did that, because E-Blade on the hero is also horrible. So like Morphling has been kind of been put into this weird place where you just right clicker now, and the hero can do it, but it takes an exponentially long time for it to get there. Oh, Wyvern is in trouble.
He's inside the cold embrace here, so he's still gonna die though. There's a second point already into the battery assault, and that spell is pretty good, so he just bought some time and space. I mean, that's his revenge, the revenge from WRG, right? They're like, well, we suffered the indignity of you first batting us in the top lane before you TP'd out, but speaking of said top lane, there's actually danger here as they chase down the Pudge, looking for the Zeus as well. Rasputin does not have Heavenly Jump, and even if he did, would not have the mana to use it. Will lose his life to Tiger and Bipolar. That should not be happening. Yes, you lose the lane as the Pudge, but dying like this...
should be dying as well. But I'm actually surprised it's Pudge's first death. Like against this Lifestealer CM lane, I'm very surprised that he's actually been able to like survive this long. But the Zeus should not have gone down at the same time. Like that's... Because if this happens, if this is the scenario where Lifestealer kills your Pudge, And while the Pudge is trying to respawn, Zeus could be soaking up this entire creep wave. And having an early 6 on your pos 4 Zeus is also not terrible. Oh, the stick. Tiger baited him.
Nice. Big stick bait, but there might be a bait in the opposite direction. Woo, he just got level 6. So he will turn around with the infest there. He knew that he was about to crack the level, so wasn't too concerned about his own life there. Rasputin came back at the right time, but not going to be good enough. And indeed, middle, like you say, this is now this 8-minute mark that we were talking about in the draft where things start to get a bit dicey. And Pog Daddy has gotten himself into an awkward position here. Billy, can he catch him with the usage of the power cogs? Here comes the raise. The Phoenix just picked up a double damage rune. They've got the damage for this one. They just need to be able to lock him down. And there's going to be your cogs. DD rune is popped as well. Pog Daddy at least going to look for the counter kill onto Billy. Odyssey will throw in the last right click. However, it will cost the life at the end of the day of this tiny middle. And Pudge dies again in the top lane. Okay, things are now starting to fall apart a little bit here as Royalty lose 2 cores all across this map.
Yeah, I think that was Odyssey's like, thank you very much. Just slaps the clock there, gets a kill out of it. But making the best out of a worse situation, like a very bad
Phoenix
situation.
just picked up a double damage. They've got the damage for this one. They need to be able to lock him down. And there's going to be your cog. DD rune is popped as well. Pog Daddy at least going to look for the counter kill onto Billy. Odyssey will throw in the last right click. However, it will cost the life.
Billy has now also rotated to this top lane. So, and Pog Daddy hasn't made... Oh, he went treads. I don't like this.
Rasputin's so dead. Billy's now going to show himself in the top lane. Heavenly jump all you want, my friend. Still going to find yourself getting ran down. Alright, and unfortunately, because of the hero that's bottom... Oh, Precious Petunia, though, he's going to be left alone, and they will try to aggress on top of him once they are aware that he has no support. So they will be trading lives. The Zeus life in exchange for the Marzes. First arena of the game was used, but more importantly, that's the first time in this map that Royalty has been the one to make aggression happen in the laning phase. They'll be rewarded with the kill, but unfortunately, they're still being drastically outfarmed in pretty much every role right now, Notahero.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a... But it's also because, like, Pog Daddy went treads on this tiny, and they kind of, like, the reason people are, like, doing an early phase on the mid-tinies is because then you've got that gap closed. Like, you can get onto the targets that you want to kill. You can apply pressure. And this treads kind of tells me that... Like, he wants to farm a bit more. Like, he wants to get this Echo Saber. He wants to get this Blink Dagger. And unfortunately, like, his team at the moment needs, like we said, he is the win condition. He needs to try and get these runes. But WRG are all over them, eh? Like, they've gotten every single action rune since the spawn. Oh, there's a nice little kill.
Okay. Well, the recipient of said action rune, unfortunately for them, there's a sentry ward on the high ground. Yeah, because he just picked up Invis rune, so they know that there has to be a sentry there because of how easily he got hooked. Okay.
No, my Pudge looked like a jelly man there for a second. It was like little bubbles coming off him. I don't know what that is. Like he was swimming in like a tub of jelly. The animation went away after he got the kill. I don't know if that's an item or something he has or it's just my game.
Lane. They're running down Rasputin. Phoenix just showed up to the side of the map. So this is the one thing, we were talking about this earlier, right? The fact that Razor is a lot slower of a hero, so he's not the one that can always make these big rotations. Unfortunately, like you mentioned, because they bought power trades on Tiny, Tiny can't actually make these moves. So Razor can make these without having any fear that Tiny can meaningfully respond. By the time you get there as a Tiny, the fight's already over. You can't actually do anything to the Razor. It just walks back mid like he's doing now.
But that's what makes Dota such an... Oh, wait, bottom. There's a fight going on.
Okay, big bite onto Rasputin, but where's the damage actually? Big Zeus ultimate as he just cracked level 6. Rasputin assists him with bringing down Precious Petunia. Billy in the vicinity trying to run down the Pudge with the power cogs and will be able to catch him. Is there enough damage? You bet there is. One big kill happening onto the Pudge. The question is, can Billy get out of this one alive? And it doesn't seem like they want to test this theory because they are fearful of any kind of reinforcements. And this fear is vindicated. Tiger has shown up. This fight is over. So offlaner for offlaner traded yet again in this bottom side of the map. But it's not over here, Notahero. Phoenix is in the wings. He's thinking about going in, but now they're going to let it go.
But that's the thing, like, that's what makes Dota such a great game. Like, something as simple as just buying a different type of boot changes how you play a hero.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's actually going to die here. Immediately off the TP, off the respawn rather, they TP top with the Smalls to try and get the kill onto Odyssey. Does get away from in the trees though. Alright, not enough.
That is a morphing thing. Oh wait, he's still on him. Oh, Petunia.
When did he get this Blink Dagger?
I don't know. He had it.
Did he spawn with this in his inventory or something? What's going on here?
That's a pretty quick blink, but it is a naked boot into blink. Like, no, he didn't feel that he needed to like get phase boots or something for armor in the lane against the morphling. like just storing one bracer and now a blink dagger, and that is going to up WRG's like timing quite a bit. Like they can make moves now. They can pressure areas on the map. You can see them already pushing in this top tower. You've got 3 heroes of Royalty Esports sitting in this bottom lane, like just hugging behind the tower. And this is horrible because all 3 of these heroes, none of them are getting XP. Like no one's getting creeps. But all 3 of them are sitting here to try and defend this tower. Like Winter Wyvern should be sitting here by himself. Like what level is Splinter Blast? It's a level 3 Splinter Blast, Snare. Like he can just sit behind this tower and deep push this lane. He's deep pushing the lane anyway, but now your like pos 3 Pudge is like not getting anything. Like he should get out of here. Like Shazo shouldn't be sitting here. Like
he's a full level behind the Mars right now. He picks up some base boots,
Clock is farming jungle because okay, they're just all sitting bottom. We didn't really care.
Oh boy. They might be able to at least get the Clock kill though. Let's see. Hook drags them out of the power cogs. There will be the Dismember. Is there enough damage at the end of the day to get this kill? It doesn't look like it, especially since there's reinforcements. There's going to be a Zeus ult, which enables them to at least get the 1. Cold Embrace, not needed because they have dropped down the Winter's Curse. Precious Petunia dies to the right clicks of Tiger. That's one of the one opportunities. But here comes Razor coming in right behind him, looking for some revenge. Will buy some time. Shazo doesn't want a TP, man. He's going to defend the tower come hell or high water. Phoenix at least picks up the kill onto Wannabe. But they're not actually going to dive underneath the tower just yet. Tiny is now on the high ground. Pog Daddy, Avalanche toss directly onto Tiger. They're running down the Life Stealer. They miss with the hook. Dismember will be there, but there's a lot of damage coming in from this Razor with the Eye of the Storm. Phoenix getting taken down with the rod will finally die. Tiger can't get close towards this Pudge thanks to the effect of this Tiny. The Avalanche toss buys some more time as well. He gets pushed back. At the last second, he can't get the right click out. Oh no, that is the worst case scenario. Gives the opportunity for Tiger to get off the wand. That keeps him alive. I thought he was dead for sure, but it turns out that he survives the fight at the end of the day. Huge engagement. Lots happened.
Yeah, okay with that. Like killing this Razor, like he was kind of just running around the map. He's the 3rd most farmed hero on the map, and suddenly Shazo on this Pudge, 5.5k like net worth, and oh, top lane there's a kill on the Zeus. But 5.5k, and he's been sitting behind the bot tier 1 for 3 minutes, so that's my flame for the evening. But it's over now.
Fair and balanced, man. Fair and balanced. That's all we're gonna say about this game of Dota 2. Look at this change up in the itemization though. Whilst this Lifestealer has picked up this armlet, Pog Daddy has made recognition of the fact that his team needs some dynamism. So instead of finishing the Echo Saber, has picked up the Blink. This is very nice. I like this. I would like it even more if he starts to immediately go and try and make something happen with his team.
Yeah, and it's also too late. Like it's 15 minutes in. Like you needed to kind of, like I think if you want to go Echo, like 60 minutes at the latest, you want Echo and Blink. And he was approaching this 50-minute mark, and he kind of realized that, okay, no, I'm gonna lose my timings here. We spoke about fighting and just how the game functions, and I think him having this Blink Dagger is gonna be a massive difference.
There's a smoke on the Winter Wyvern, hasn't used it just yet though. He is moving to the top lane. There's a smoke from WRG, but they're missing all their targets entirely, so this could open up an opportunity. Bottom tower does fall with no defense. Oh, Princess Petunia dodges the gank, but now that leaves some vulnerability for Bipolar. Fortunately, it is a mere support, and they will just happily take away her life. So there's no Crystal Maiden. Princess Petunia does get off the ultimate and throws in the spear onto Zeus, but unfortunately for him, there's so many heroes nearby that they just end up quickly killing him. Billy, he jumped in onto the Zeus. Oh, he might have bitten off much more than you can chew here, buddy, as he gets taken out by Pog Daddy, providing a double kill for the Tiny. Phoenix realizes this is not a fight he can actually hang around in, will immediately retreat. But that's going to open up the tier 1 tower, which they claim easily. 3 heroes brought down. What an investment on this Blink Dagger here on a hero. They've gotten everything that they needed to immediately after.
That was huge. That was a tier 1 tower, 2 kills, one on a core and one on a support. And yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Game starting to look much better. Shazo on this Pudge
spear onto Zeus, but unfortunately for him, there's so many heroes nearby that they just end up quickly killing him.
Like both of them.
Okay.
So,
hashtag no death threats. So, alright, let's see. Dive 4 times so far.
Like, I hate Hood against Razor though, because, like, yeah, he's doing some magic, but his ult is physical. I don't know. Like, what is the Hood for? Just clockwork, I guess?
CM, yeah, man.
Yeah.
2,000 gold to try and deal with Crystal Maiden. I'm kidding. I think what it's where this actually can go. I've been seeing lately that because I hate Hood. I think it's just much worse than Cloak.
Ooh.
Cloak is just way better. But I've been seeing a lot more pipes of inside of late. Speaking of the Hood buyer though, he's middle in a little bit of a skirmish here against WRG. Wannabe's also, look where he's sitting. He was actually smoked up, trying to find an angle to use the tumbler, the piggy pole, come in from the river and throw in the Winter's Curse, but can't find a way down into the river. I think that's the only way it makes sense to me. If this later becomes a pipe, then I can see it. But if it's just Hood for its own sake,
Royalty needs to move here. Like this sitting around is really, it's really hurting them. Like they need to make a move. They need to make a move or go farm. Like they need to kind of make the choice now because there's 4. Oh wait, there goes Mars. Oh, Petunia.
Missed Arena, but it's not gonna matter. Nice, he uses the Quad Rebuke and it pushes him inside of the power cogs. But here comes Pog Daddy. Tosses actually Phoenix back up onto the high ground here. They're gonna quickly bring down this Razor, throwing in the Thunder Gods Rod for good measure. Tiger's involved in this fight now as well though. However, so is Odyssey. So it's gonna be a carry matchup. Mr. Petunia on the high ground, getting some space provided by Billy. Beautiful power cogs, and now they've isolated Shaz. Pudge will end up dying here on the high ground. Billy will suffer the same fate soon thanks to this waveform. However, Bipolar gets quick revenge, bringing down Rasputin Zeus on the high ground. 3 for 2 exchange so far, but Pog Daddy has Blink and 5. He's thinking about it. You can see he wants to open up that range, but I don't think Odyssey wants to take this fight. So this skirmish will end here. A 3 for 2 engagement that greatly benefits the side of WRG.
It was such a wacky engagement, man.
So
like it was so weird. Like they had like 4 heroes just sitting in the trees middle, while Pudge just trying to land a hook, and he missed 2 hooks, and they just kept sitting there. And then like Petunia came in and speared someone back, and it was just like a really wonky engagement for Royalty. And they kind of need to make the decision if they want to be fighting, they need to go, and if they want to be farming, then they need to farm. But like this thing where all of them are just sitting kind of idle and not doing anything, like this is fine. Like now they're putting pressure on this tower. This tower is going to go down. Oh, Petunia?
That was a very awkward blink forward by Precious Petunia there in that situation, and he immediately gets punished for it. The TP does get cancelled, so Shaz cannot find the hook there. I think it actually missed anyway, but doesn't really matter. Does mean that there's no defense that can be mounted middle. Tier 1 tower will end up falling in favor of Royalty Esports. It's been so weird. WRG have also not really been able to find themselves in opportunities where they can put out this tower damage, and it's starting to have some dividends here. They put some pressure atop, but doesn't really matter. The mid tower at this stage of the game, the most important kind of real estate you can claim for yourself.
It's so crucial. It's so crucial. And the for me the biggest like indication of how this game is going, like Phoenix on Razor when Boots of Travel, and I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Like it's, yo, you see all these mid laners do it, but on Razor, like you kind of just getting melted in these fights because they have the heroes to get on top of you. But the main points I want to make is the state of the game is in such a weird spot. Like look at like Winter Wyvern's item choice here, like Mana Boots into Blink Dagger on the pos 5 Winter, like no Holy Locket or Glimmer Cape, or I think a 4-staff would have been like way better than this Blink because you're playing against the Razor Clockwork. So it's just like it's such a weird state of the game because Zeus is, oh, he's got nothing.
Zeus is going to end up in a situation where he throws in the Thunder God's Wrath to help them kill Phoenix. They were going onto a play that brought down the Winter Wyvern, but it cost them the Razor. Great hook onto the Zeus. Unfortunately, it doesn't lock Shaz into it as well. High Polar threw in the ultimate, but nobody's even near the freezing field. Now they all have to make away from this fight as Wannabe has brought back. Looking for a way to try and get some revenge here. Billy, slowed up, will certainly not be allowed to escape this one. Power Cogs will create space and time, but there's the toss forward. Wannabe gonna be out here. They even dropped the Winter's Curse. Pog Daddy. Wait, what?
What did they back away?
Okay, Pog Daddy's still chasing though.
And now he wants to go for it. What is going on?
I was about to ask you that, fam. What's happening here? He goes forward to get this kill onto Billy. But this is a chaotic game. That gank on the high ground, one fight is starting where they kill the Winter Wyvern. Razor's running middle by himself, dies solo in front of the tower. Then they fight for supports behind the tier 1, diving and using Freezing Field just to kill a young Zeus. What is going on here, Notahero?
No, I have no idea. But the thing is, like, now this Wyvern bought back in that fight, he needs to change his item build now. He can't go this Blink Dagger. And Zeus just bought Shard. The supports on Royalties, like they're not gearing for them to win this game. There's no Urn or Spirit Vessel or 4-star. Like, you're playing in CM, Clockwork, and a Razor, and Lifestealer, and like your supports are just like, buying shots and the other one's going, I'm buying Blink Dagger. Like, come on, guys. Like, look at what you're playing against. Get these 4 staffs. Get your Pudge away from this lifesteal or get them away from this Razor. Let them be able to play Dota. And so, and there's no Lotus Orbs or anything coming out anytime soon for Lynx or Freezes or Hookshot again.
Big hook coming in. It's going to be onto Rasputin, but there's actually no way to kill him. And there's going to be the hook coming in from Shaz, dragging him out of the power cogs. Rasputin does die on the edge of the fight, but Tiger is so low on HP. Bipolar, though, turning it all around with a huge freezing field. It's doing so much work. Winter's Curse, though, will interrupt it. They will also end up losing Tiger. However, at what cost? They've already lost several, but no, here's Odyssey. With Razor being dead in the middle of the fight, he revealed his BKB, but he chased too deep. Now Odyssey has stolen away his form. Pog Daddy buys back to go for a quick kill onto Precious Petunia. And then Odyssey drops the adaptive strike to turn it into a 5-hero wipe as Royalty Esports take another engagement here close to the tier 1 tower in this mid lane.
And that was with Phoenix's BKB reveal on the Razor. Like, that was a full 9-second BKB. And just got destroyed. Lifestealer got melted by the Pudge hook. Then good ulti by Wannabe onto the Lifestealer. He was so low they ended up killing him because his armlet was like also on, so he was draining quite a bit of HP. Are we gonna see a hook shot here?
That's okay. I don't think he can allow this one to go. Bully gets the vision. He knows that he's got about 7 seconds to try and make this move. They're trying to block it though. They're blocking all these angles, and their hookshot gets blocked by Wannabe. Phoenix does have a drain out. Ooh, Tiger almost got hooked, but nonetheless, they cannot stop the Aegis from being claimed. It does get taken by Pog Daddy. I mean, he did buy back, so he doesn't want to die back, but still a little bit peculiar to give this towards the Tiny instead of the Morphling. However, they still make away like bandits here. Whiterabbit Gaming cannot stop the Roshan attempt. The peculiar game continues, Notahero. This time around with even more strange decisions with this Aegis.
Yeah, Odyssey did full cleanup that last fight. Like, he was the reason that... Because when he came into the fight, it was 2-0 down on the side of Royalty and I think like 1 on the side of WRG. And it ended up being a full team wipe. Yeah, like he was a cleanup crew and he's also level 19 and you decide to give this Aegis to Tiny. And I don't know, like oh, that's a little bit of a mess. He had Blink Dagger. He could have blinked and like gone for the bites, but no one else on WRG is showing on the map. So it's just kind of like playing it safe, trying to see what's going on. Oh my gosh, no! Like I'm getting like my brain is melting by these item choices.
You blink into refresher for Wannabe. What a player!
And Zeus has shot into eggs.
You'd love to see it, man. Who needs mobility items when you're playing against a mobility-based lineup? It's fine. Listen. Odyssey has waveform. That's all the mobility we need. And speaking of Odyssey, him and Wannabe, they actually might use this blink, bro. Oh no! They messed it up. But will they still find the curse? There we go. The Winter's Curse is on. Rage will be done by the time this is over. Pog Daddy will find the Avalanche toss. Tiger has no way out of this one. That was a quick burst, quick kill. But also, what the hell was Lifestealer doing in this bottom side of the map? Bipolar's going to end up being a bonus kill. What are these heroes doing? What's happening with WRG, Notahero?
Like, what was Bipolar, like, I don't understand, like, what was the scenario there with that, like, even if he was closer, that would have worked out? I don't know, like, it's the rust, man. Like, maybe it's a bit of the nerves. It's the first game on top lane. Nice spear by Petunia.
Okay, Phoenix might need to pop this BKB sooner rather than later because he is in trouble right now. Here they come, but Razor can't get out. He's dead. He's gone. Precious Petunia keeping out quickly. Shaz will not find the angle for a hook as Billy also ends up dying in this bottom side of the map. Royalty Esports starting to run away with this one right now as WRG.
Yeah, starting to look very good. But the thing is, like, their win conditions are like coming online. Like, Morphling's getting to a stage where, like, he's hitting pretty hard. Like, this Tiny deciding to get that Blink Dagger, and that's kind of where the game started swinging for them.
Yeah.
Oh, Petunia top bottom lane?
Nah, he doesn't have the damage. He can't do this. He doesn't have team with him. There's no point to this play. BKB's about to finish. Pog Daddy literally just walking around him and saying, "You done, buddy? You done? Okay. Is this fight over?" Yep. Cool. Everybody just gonna walk away here. Precious Petunia might try to buy time because Tiger is finally starting to come in. Unfortunately, though, Winter Wyvern has access to the ult. Yep, it just came back, so they need to be careful. And there's gonna be the Winter's Curse, but it misses Tiger. Only connects onto the Mars, so they will be able to take away the life of the Tiny. Winter Wyvern gets brought down as well at the freezing field, and now Pog Daddy will die.
It's
Yet
so much
again,
space, though.
another very peculiar state of events. That should not have happened. I thought the Curse was really going to turn it all around, but turns out Royalty not make it happen.
Lifestealer got the rage off in time, and it was... They got the big kill on the Tiny. 80 seconds, no Tiny. Because that's also his dieback, eh? So, a long time without this Tiny. Lost the Aegis there as well, so they can't necessarily play as aggressive as they were. Phoenix mid. This Pudge can grab him. He's got him.
Yeah, he's got him. Odyssey is there as well. Quick adapter strike. Quick burst. Dude, this...
That's poor map sense, though. And I'm going to say that straight to Phoenix, though, because your entire squad just killed Tiny C in middle. You saw the enemy team take your tier 2 top, and then you run to the mid lane by yourself? Nah, come on.
Check your DMs, Phoenix. You're going to see a very angry Notahero text being like, what the hell is this, fam? What were you doing, mates? And he can't actually afford to be dying. All jokes aside, at this stage of the game, he needs to get to this refresher. Because he went for the early bots instead of the rush into the BKB, the refresher timing is somewhat delayed right now. So he needs it. Middle, great spear, but unfortunately it comes a second after the tower has fallen. So he can't actually get nailed to it. And that allows them to just jump onto Petunia and bring him down. I am very annoyed right now that Odyssey is allowed to win. What's up, bro?
I've got a question for you about like this Morphling's build now. The Satanic is really good because like it can get him out of like CM freeze and all these little mechanics. But would Squatty not have just been better against the Lifestealer?
Yes and no. Yes, it would have been better to kill the Lifestealer. But if he gets Satanic, he actually can't die. Like, he just straight up will not die again this game.
And he already has the casual Morbid mask, which he's had for like so long. You'd have to... I guess you could get rid of the Wraith band, but Satanic into Scotty, I guess. Or, yeah. That's probably the plan.
Satanic into Scotty. Or you might just decide that after getting Satanic, just get like Daedalus or something.
Butterfly even.
Raw damage. Honestly, I don't think he actually needs a Scotty at this point. Like, it's great against the Lifestealer, but this artist... Okay, somebody please clip this because I only want to say this once this year. This Morphling is actually too strong for them to deal with on the side of WRG. So I think it's unless he makes big mistakes in the fights, I don't think he can.
That is going to be my new WhatsApp message tone. You saying Morphling is too strong to deal with?
Oh my god. Oh man. I actually can't believe this is happening, but this is not just based off of these drafts, right? The way that the game has been played has been very peculiar, but somehow Royalty is making it work. Despite not having 4 staffs into this clockwork, despite having some somewhat wonky lanes, despite a very bizarre build on the Pudge as well. Dude, look at this. He went for the Eternal Shroud. What a player.
These greedy items that they went for are now starting to pay off. Like Wannabe opted for Glimmer Cape before going for the refresher. He's got his Blink Dagger, so like he's a form of initiation now. Zeus is 800 gold off his Ags. Oh wait, hookshot mid.
Just middle, but there's gonna be a counter here. Wannabe drops down the Winter's Curse. Will they be able to get the Tiny out of this here though? Pog Daddy in danger. Pog Daddy gets given space. Razor is gonna try to chase him down, but it's taking quite a lot of effort to achieve here. Odyssey, realizing that he doesn't want to actually participate in this fight, and the Glimmer Cape saves Pog Daddy, while Shaz has been holding Tiger in position. Suddenly Tiger's low on the HP. Phoenix is going to potentially die with the right flex. He has to flee. He can no longer help his allies. Tiger, as well as Princess Petunia, caught in the avalanche toss. Both of them die at the same time. And Phoenix, the lone survivor, bounced away from the fight. But he's already popped the Eye of the Storm. He already has BKB, and there are no buybacks. Nothing to stop Royalty from just taking what they want inside of the Dire base.
And Tiny has shard, so he can keep chunking at this tower. The creeps are really far away though. Like that's the 1+ for WRG here, but there's no lifestealer for 50 seconds, no Mars for 27. But who needs creeps? Like backdoor what? Tiny Morphling, like just sieging.
Morphling winning a game like this. Dude, look how much damage the Zeus dealt in that fight, but most importantly, how much interference the Pudge ran. Between Pudge and Wannabe on this Winter Wyvern, they actually completely dominated that fight. Preventing Tiger from having mobility with the Pudge, preventing anybody from being able to kill the Tiny using the Winter Wyvern Curse, and getting off the Glimmer Cape in that fight. Wannabe has pretty much vindicated the item decision. You know, sometimes in Dota, it happens that literally one moment makes every subsequent decision worthwhile. Feels like one of those here for Wannabe. As if they can win this game, because I think that was the last fight for WRG. If you can't win that fight, I don't see how it can work out for you here, Notahero. At the very least, they'll find some consolation on the Zeus.
Oh, he didn't jump forward.
Oh yeah, you can't jump inside the cogs. You need to be moving to get the jump.
Oh, you have to like have a little, you need to like have a little mini movement.
Yeah.
I think your audio is giving a slight bug there, Snare. It sounds like you standing in a pavilion there. Oh, but there's a big hook here. They kill the Razor! This is it. It's falling apart for WRG.
Feels like this game is just going to be over at this point in time, and the longer this goes, the harder it gets. What do they do here, Notahero? How do they get back into this one as WRG?
The thing is, like, their win condition is so far off. Like, Razor needs this refresher, and he's pretty close to it, but 32 minutes into your game, your Razor has a BKB. That's it. Like, that's the only item he has, and it's a mid-Razor. Like, those boots of travel really hurt him. Like, he needed to have BKB earlier to, like, become a win condition, and it's just, like, there's too many items on the side of Royalty at the moment. Like, they have what they need.
They have everything they need here, and they do not have anything from WRG to resist this power, as they are just running headlong into their base. They've killed the base. They are killing these heroes now. They don't need an additional lane of racks because they realize they've cleared the way for the Ancients itself. Tiger dead for a minute. There's a hook from Shaz. Been struggling a little bit this game with being able to connect these hooks, but in this situation finds it flush onto the Mars, and that's going to be that here, not a hero. They should just call it.
We just saw the Morphling Pudge lineup just completely run over WRG.
Oh my god. Say it ain't
so.
so.
They went for like these wonky items, which like I didn't agree with, but the thing is WRG never itemized for them to punish it. Like, seeing this Winter Wyvern trying to go Blink Dagger, even after he bought back, no one going 4 staffs, they never punished it. Like, they delayed their timings with this Boots of Travel on the Razor. Petunia on the Mars went BKB, also going Refresher. There was no, like, all WRG's items were compiled into, like, these big pools. There was BKB Refresher on 2 of their heroes, and Lifestealer was, like, your right click. But no one was building a Wraith Pact, or even an AC on the Mars just to try and siege, or a Vlad's on him, or a pipe, a hood, or anything just to like mitigate when this Morphling came online. The Tiny had the Blink Dagger. It was just like Royalty's greed paid off.
Yep. I honestly can't believe they got away with that kind of greed. Not just the greed in terms of these items, but the way they played as well. They spent so much of the game just being like, well, we're just going to farm. We might have the more offensive lineup at some stage, but we're just going to farm, and we're going to get away with it. One of the reasons they got away with it, though, is some of the itemization we saw from WRG. In particular, the one thing that really hurts my soul, bots on the Razor first item, that just made everything just so hard for the game to be played.
I know the mid laners are doing it to try and like have pressure on the map, but not as a Razor. Like, at the latest BKB timing, he finished the game with 12k net worth, and he had bots BKB. Like, yeah, he had 2 rings of perseverance, but that doesn't do anything for you in a fight. It doesn't benefit you in any way. Like, Petunia, Blink Dagger, BKB, and he had Refresher queued as well. There was no, like, real, like, oomph to say we're going to go into these fights and we're going to win in this way. And we spoke about win conditions, and Royalty used theirs way better. Like, Tiny with this Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, BKB. The Pudge started coming online as well. When he had a BKB, they just could like pick anything off. And I'm going to say it, Odyssey, 12, 0, and 10 on this Morphling. Massive, massive game by him.
I cannot believe that. Firstly, I can't believe that they saw this Morphling pick and they let him get to the stage of the game where he was the strong. I mean, to be fair, the matchups that he was against are nominally, and in this game, definitely demonstrably good for the Morphling. But still, there were so many opportunities where I thought, well, you're not actually doing anything. Like, for example, the situations where you knew they had vision of like 3-4 heroes camped around the bottom tower, and you knew they had it because they were scouting with Rocket Flare from Clockwork. Those are the perfect times where you need to be smoking and looking for Morphling, catching him inside of his jungle, getting on top of him. But it was just farming.
Or just hitting creeps, because 3 of their heroes are not hitting creeps. 3 of our heroes like is hitting creeps. It's an immediate swing in the game. And even mid lane, like, they had this wonky stage where Royalty was just sitting there waiting for Pudge to hook someone, but they kept dodging the hooks, and nothing was happening. And it was just like, and then Petunia went in, and it felt like this forced engagement, and Lifestealer is not going to carry you. We said we hate Morphling. We said we hate Morphling, but I'm also not a fan of this Lifestealer in the POS 1 role, or in any role. Like, I don't think the hero is that good.
Yeah, in general, I'm also not really a fan of the lifestealer. I feel like it's a bit underwhelming. Just runs out of steam at some point, and it has to. It's very much the definition of a snowball hero. If you're not having the good game continue from a good start, the hero just feels very underwhelming. Had a decent enough start. In fact, in the first 10 minutes, he found himself with like 3 kills or something. That should have been enough to accelerate Tiger into a really good position, but also, I'll be honest, a uber fan of the itemization we saw from the Lifestealer. He went for Maelstrom directly into the Eye of Skadi after the Armlet. I mean, I guess it's fine and it's okay, but the lack of teamfight overall that they already had, in my mind, precipitates you buying a Basher, getting some kind of additional engagement.
Yeah, and the thing is,
fight.
like, even like Deso, because then you a threat on when you hit towers. Like, but no one in their team like really hit towers. They would win like these mini like engagements. And you mentioned it in that game, tier 1 tower mid, still up, most important tower in the game. Because there was just no one that could hit that tower. Like, Lifestealer, like, pause it, but, like, there's no Deso on the hero. There's no, like, Mars didn't have a Deso. Like, Razor doesn't do tower damage until he gets Ags. So, it was just, like, I think that's what slowed down their game as well. Like, after they won these mini engagements, they couldn't transition it into a Roshan or a tower or, let's just map pressure. And Royalty played it well and exploited it. Like Blink Dagger on this Winter Wyvern, when he got it, like it made a difference, even though we thought he needed a 4-staff instead. But yeah, but luckily we've got a game to do.
Luckily, we do have a game too, so WRG will not have their opportunity here in EGL 1 rescinded just yet. They still have another bite at the cherry. They can still demonstrate that they're the ones that belong on the winning side of this tournament. So they will be trying to reset, hopefully bringing us a much more active draft once we get into game number 2. However, for now, Royalty Esports certainly on the front foot. They have the momentum in their favor, and this lineup also doing some interesting things in the game, but making it fun and winning, which is the most important thing. We'll see if they can keep that trend going into game number 2, or if Whiterabbit Gaming will punch back and take us to a decider. This is EGL 1. This is Snare and Notahero. This is the 3rd season, and we'll be right back. After a little bit of a break, let the teams recalibrate and prepare themselves for some hype, for some action, for some more EGL 1 action. Welcome one and all back again to EGL 1 Season 3. We continue with the greatest showcase of South African Dota, and we continue to witness the series between Whiterabbit Gaming and the side of Royalty Esports. As it stands right now, Royalty Esports have the one game in the bag. They could easily make this two if they bring yet another good, well, good is maybe a bit too much of a stretch, but another intriguing draft, and they play it well, which they certainly did. Going into this game, it is quite important that you win this one out, because if you don't, you drop down to the lower bracket where you do not want to be. Whiterabbit Gaming have found themselves able to make that climb through the lower bracket and get fourth before, but we do not know if they can achieve it again. So we're going to be finding out as we start the second game. Good sir, Notahero, the man who is joining me and the man who has the greatest insight into South African Dota. Tell me good news, fam. Are we getting game 3? And if so, how are we getting there?
Ask me again at the end of this draft, because I 100% feel this WRG team just need to make some adjustments. Like, there was a lot of wonkiness. Like, they let Royalty get away with like things that we were like why are they not building 4-staffs? And it was just never punished. Like, Razor never felt safe running into a fight. His first fight he got BKB, he ran in BKB'd and just died because it was too late. Like, it was like 23 minutes into the game. Because of that Boots of Travel, he went first. And it just, like, they never capitalized on the chinks in Royalty's armor. And I think if they do that this game, then it's gonna be a much different story. But we see Marcy ban, and then they take out the Zeus, because I actually want to go check how much damage the Zeus did the previous game, because his item build was excessively greedy. It was literally shard into Ags. Okay, he did 20k damage, but his cores only did 26k damage. So he was right up there doing damage. The hero just naturally spams damage out, and they got rid of it, and then they stole the Wyvern, and then Royalty goes and steals the Mars.
Okay, this is nice. Last game, I mean, the Zeus also did... The interesting thing for me about his damage output was that it was more than any of the cores from WRG. But in this game, obviously, he will not be involved. Winter Wyvern, I still think he's a great hero in general to break up these team fights. We saw so many times in the last game where that happened. And they go for this Beastmaster too. I think this hero is also... this hero in my mind is just completely broken. It's busted. So WRG certainly look like they want to win, but Royalty not going to make it easy for them. Etienne, Notahero, do you remember there was a time like last year where practically every game had Mars Snapfire here and in China? It was ridiculous. Like, this was the duo every single time, no matter what.
The thing is, the Snap was such a huge flex pick because people were playing him everywhere. You were seeing like mid Snap, you were seeing offlane Snap, you were seeing pos 4 Snap, pos 5 Snap. The hero just like gave you so much. I still think, and it's not really a hero that we've seen been nerfed. It just wasn't touched at all. I think Snapfire is still probably the most all-rounded hero in the game. He gives you like lots of damage. He's got a nice stun with his shard. He's got a stun from the cookie. He's got a save in the form of the cookie. He's got a great teamfight ultimate. Gives you tower push with little shredder. Like, it's just an
Roche
all-round...
taking as well with the shredder.
Yeah, like, it's just the hero just gives you a little bit of everything. And with a hero like Mars, it's really good. But you spoke about this Beastmaster, like dive bomb on the Hawks. It's just dumb. Like, you're already controlling the map with vision, and then that same vision can fly into your face and stun you. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Seems balanced to me. Like, I don't see the issue.
I don't know how Asfrog went. Like, this Beastmaster, I'm gonna make his Hawk like
stun and deal damage.
You. I don't know if you saw Mind Control getting kills with it. Like, I think he got like 3 kills with dive bombs. Like, it was...
It actually does a lot of damage. Like, it's a surprising amount of damage that comes out. And in this game, you know, last game we were talking about some of the difficulties that they had on Royal Esports utilizing the combo with the Winter Wyvern Curse. We did see them eventually utilizing it with the Avalanche, but in this game, now it's actually viable to go for solo curses. You solo curse a target, you have Beastmaster Hawk waiting in the wings, you dive bomb them. If by some miracle they're still alive, then you throw in the Primal Roar afterwards. Last game as well, WRG was the team that was lacking
stacking up the axes while the target is cursed.
Oh my god.
You can like, he's not going to do damage, but you can start stacking them. And yeah, so there's little interactions there that I think is very cute. It's also a lot of like wave clear, so WRG's draft can clear waves pretty effectively, where in the previous game I kind of felt that the only main wave clear was Mars. Like, Razor doesn't do too well, Lifestealer doesn't do too well clearing waves. Between Beastmaster and and Winter Wyvern lots of wave clear. And WLG is setting themselves up now to have a way more clear win condition. It's not there yet. You can play the map with like Wyvern and Beastmaster, but it's much easier to find that last piece of the puzzle now because you already have tools to play Dota with.
You can actually do stuff on the map. You're not just hoping and praying that Royalty sort of mess up and make a mistake. I'm also glad that they looked at the previous game and realized that one thing that they were lacking that their opponents didn't was several sources of BKB piercing disable. However, this we saw being banned in the first phase by Royalty Esports, and you flagged that it might be because they have some degree of information about WRG that we don't have access to. And it seems that that particular intuition was correct, because the Scareth Mage third phase or second phase third pick both were like expressing we're not fully fans of this hero, but now that he is out, where is he going? And at the very least, look on the bright side. Look on the bright side, right? Let me try to be kind to the Scareth Mage. So when we used to see this hero, into Bambi sucks, to be fair, you know. But if you ever isolate Bambi alone without an army around her, and you manage to stun her before the attendants come out, she can actually die. You have the situation where the silence seems very freaking good.
Yeah.
Paired with Beastmaster. When it was played a lot, it was played with Beastmaster, DK, and Mars was the other one from the offlane. And Legion as well. Yeah. So there's good stuff about the Scareth Mage. And now there's a puck, right? You're looking at this Royalty lineup, and you're like, there's two heroes that might not be squishy, quote unquote, normally, but between the magic damage of Scareth Puck, they definitely die, these heroes.
Royalty need to pick up Void Spirit right now. Like this Puck Void Spirit matchup now has been, it's like in the past people were like, yo, it goes both ways and it's more skill based. But I actually think people have started to learn how to play that matchup, and I think Void Spirit like completely beats Puck in the lane. Even though Puck is a counter to him in the mid game, like Coil is obviously a very big nuisance for Void Spirit, but like they should honestly pick up Void Spirit here. It's a hero that's elusive. It can mess with the Scareth Mage. It can play against this Puck. And you can
build
play
Ags for the silence.
Yeah, and you can play so you can play so fast. Like just Kaya into Ags and then you finish E-Blade. I think you're very well off. Because you don't really want to BKB this game. Like I guess like Scareth and Puck are like horrible to play against without a BKB. But you're gonna get cursed or you're gonna get roared. So
yeah.
And BK, like people like haven't really like realized how hectic the BKB changes as well. We kind of still see like everyone's just building BKB like the same way like it was in the past, and we saw it in that previous game because they had BKB on Razor, they had BKB on Mars, and when those BKBs were used, like the foot went on the gas for Royalty Esports because the cooldown is excessive. So
I think that's why we've been seeing a lot more of these teams that look very successful not have many BKB buyers on them. Like you'll have one or two at best. This is not a Void Spirit. This is very intriguing though. We've been seeing the rise of Sniper just in general across the world stage, often in situations where there are enough heroes in front of him to create space and opportunity for the Sniper to dish out that damage. In this game, there's only one source of like direct gap close coming in out of the Puck. And yes, normally you don't want to buy BKB. However, when you're sitting this far back, you could find value out of the BKB by just knowing there's only one hero at a time that's reliably going to be on top of you. It's still, in my opinion, very risky because we don't have the mid hero that also creates space in front of the Sniper. So there's universes where like Mars dies early in the fight, then suddenly you can't do that much.
This will be a +1 Sniper. We saw them do it in the NA region. Yeah, the NA region was doing +1 Sniper. And the thing is, like, Sniper is different now because people actually started to figure out how to use a shard. So when you're in the back and people are gap closing you, people are actually using the shard to push yourself even further back. So
well, the Sniper is in a situation where he's going to be provided with some support from the rest of the team. We need them to try and pop up. And for the rest of you at home, though, if you want to be able to support us, I'm just kidding. We're now here to support you. So all of you who might be here for the first time, who might not know how we run things here in EGL1, we'll always make sure to show some love back to the community. So if you would very kindly type in chat EGL1, that is EGLONE, all small caps. And if you do that, then you will find a lovely little prize for you. Well, we're giving away one beautiful Evetech mousepad, and of course, it goes to whoever comes out of the lucky draw to get yourself into the lucky draw.
But
just
please only type it once. But please only type it once, because if you type it in twice, you actually remove yourself from the draft. Type it once. EGL1 in the chat once per person. It's crucial, guys, because people think they can juke the system and then they type it 3 times to try and enter themselves again. Doesn't work like that. The moment you type it in more than once, it removes you from the draft. So EGL 1 in the draft for that lacquer mouse pad. Let's go.
Yeah. Real talk, I've actually been in the market for a news mouse pad, so somebody please type on my behalf. Thank you very much. WRG.
Don't you have a DPC mouse pad there? I don't know.
Still in the mail, man. You know how international couriers, how long they take.
Oh, especially with our postal service. I mean, with DHL.
DHL. And Slacks is going to show up to my house personally. That would be so pug. So how does this draft end here, Notahero? What do we need from WRG? Well, they answered that for us by getting this Bristleback as the last pick. What do you think they went for the BB? Or what are they trying to accomplish here outside of just like incredible tempo that can be set at like trying to overrun the game?
Lane's well against the Mars. It doesn't really care about Bambi because if I can't right click you, I'm just going to keep cool spraying you. But the thing is, it's... And Royalty doesn't really have a natural break at the moment, and they don't really have any heroes that want to build Silver's Edge. So I guess that's something, but they also banned the Viper to set up for this Bristleback pick. So Sniper, Silver's Edge can be a thing, but if Sniper does opt to go for like third or fourth item Silver's Edge, this Bristleback will never get on top of him. Like it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And Royalty can respond now. Like they can like shift the Snapfire to an offlane, put the Marsman and pick up like Hoodwink. They opt for Shadow Fiend, which is a Silver's Edge carrier. So that is interesting, and I'm going to be interested to see what build the Shadow Fiend is going to go. Is he going to go like the magic build or the physical build? The physical build has been way more popular, but we've seen some people experiment with Arcane Blink and the Fear talent at 20, and you can end up fearing
playing the Shadow Fiend.
Ooh, Odyssey. So, what?
It's potentially safe lane SF, unless they're gonna like swap lanes between himself and Pog Daddy. This is okay. Now I think the rationale is here, right? I think the rationale is the matchup for the Sniper is better into Puck than the Shadow Fiend one. The Shadow Fiend one has historically always been like this very skill-based matchup between the two, himself and the Puck. In this game, like you were mentioning, you want a Silver Edge builder. I think he actually might go Magic because they can get Silver Edge on Sniper. If Shadow Fiend goes for like this Magic build, it also just... There's a phase of the game as Bristleback, you actually just get eaten alive by the Magic Burst, and it's shocking how quickly it comes out. You were mentioning the Arcane Blink build. If you get feared as Bristleback, that's one of the worst things for you. You get feared, and then Shaz jumps in front of you, spears you back, and suddenly you're like, well, I'm screwed. I actually can't do anything. And then you just get turned apart.
Shadow Fiend with a robe, the neutral item, you can fear someone for like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
like 15 seconds, you don't move, you just like keep running.
Just like,
you just watch your hero take a walk. It's a bit bonkers, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. This also might be the rationale that Shadow Fiend can lane against this Beastmaster and just try and kill the boars with razors. So that also might be a thought process. But neither Shadow Fiend nor Sniper, regardless of what lane you're putting them in, is gonna take the Skywrath Mage spam. Like both of them don't necessarily have high HP pools, and they're gonna have to get some wands or sticks and raindrops and all types of things just to try and keep their HP up. But they do have the Bambi though. The Bambi should be in that lane and just keep them like topped up. It is a safe lane, Shadow. Okay.
Bambi indeed is going to try and do the most to try and ensure that they can win this one out. However, with some very interesting drafts at the end, yet again from Royalty Esports, I am hoping that they can make this work because I like seeing some of this creativity come into the fold. Of course, I would also like a game 3. So, Whiterabbit Gaming, I mentioned that this Beastmaster hero is busted. Please vindicate this commentary and make this game interesting. So, let us get into it. Game number 2 here in the upper bracket of the round of 16. If they win on WRG here, they get to continue into game 3. If they lose though, suddenly Notahero, you're starting to look at that bracket run and be like, yo, we have so much work to do if we want to get ourselves into the top positions. Bottom lane, first death of the game will happen though. Royalty Esports will find themselves getting a very quick death happening onto their Snapfire as Billy able to run down Rasputin. All right. That's what they kind of needed. This kind of draw from WRG cannot afford to get off to a slow start here, Notahero. They need every kill as early as humanly possible.
And this also made Snapfire skill cookie at level 1, which is very, like, I think it's very bad for the lane. Like, I think so bad for the lane.
Yeah. You should have just died,
Yeah,
honestly, rather than
just
kill us.
die and take scatter blast because like you want your snap fire to be able to secure the range creep and it's also a much bigger form of harass like Law Shredder or even the scatter blast. But having Cookie now level 1, you're kind of just soaking XP until you hit that level 2. Which is it's not ideal.
Yep. Well,
I'm
we'll
looking
see
at
how it ends
starting
up going.
items here. We definitely have not adapted the start with 3 ironwood branches meta, which a lot of the pros are doing. Like almost no one has branches at all. Like Snap has
Bristleback
0.
has some. Yeah, Bristleback has some.
Yeah. Mars has 1. Bristleback has 2.
Phoenix also has 2 here in this mid lane on the puck.
And Bipolar started the lane with a headdress.
Dude, honestly, this is new meta. We started seeing this in China as well. Like instead of buying any kind of regen, you rush out the headdress, just provide some like background heal.
But you give it to the creeps as well.
It does push out the wave. That is a but you're playing with Bristleback. Like Bristleback's probably
No,
also one of the
He's gonna push the wave anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, what you're saying is 100% right. So I guess that's not that's okay then, because he is gonna push the wave of calls anyway. But like in general, like just like this 2 AP region is nice, but just it pushes the wave the whole time.
We'll see how much Bipolar can accomplish though on this game, on this Winter Wyvern. We saw the power of it in the previous game. I'm not sure he's gonna build as greedily, but I kind of hope he does.
There's the cookie. Oh, you got him.
Bro, a whole 70 damage. Woo! So strong.
Yeah, don't forget about the stun. Like it's also the fear factor. Oh, remember that show? I love that show. Fear Factor. Joe Rogan special.
Before we knew really who Rogan was, it was just like a guy on Fear Factor. When back when Joe Rogan had hair, long ago.
Yeah, dude. When we were lighties, like Fear Factor was a jam. Like I couldn't wait for Sunday Fear Factor, watching people eat spiders and things and.
It was good times,
Back
man.
to Dota.
You know what was also good times? Days when we didn't have to. There were many years where I got to ignore the Shadow Fiend hero. So talk to me about it. Here we go. We have him in the safe lane. Thus far, it's been going not that great for him, but we sort of anticipate that if you're playing on the side lane with this hero, at least until level 3. Something interesting about this hero as well is that this thing didn't used to work on neutral creeps, presence of the Dark Lord, but now it actually does. So
the thing is, the Shadow Fiend's gonna be a very sad hero in this game because
he might be sad now. I think he's about to die. Yep,
Yeah.
already very sad. Lost his life. Skywrath Mage showing his value here. And they might be able to turn this into 2 kills. Wannabe, even with the Nature's Attendants. You were talking about how neither Shadow Fiend nor Sniper deal well with the harass. And they need the Enchantress to help out. But even that help turns out to not be enough.
it's such a boss move by Shadow Tricks on the Beastmaster here. Like, look at the skill build between Skywrath Mage and Beastmaster. Okay, we missed a kill on the Skywrath Mage, but he died to the neutral, like the tower anyway. But like, two levels of axes, not a single level of Call of the Wild. Like, this is, we are, oh, well, they just gave Shadow Fiend a kill. But this is, we are spamming the Shadow Fiend build from both these heroes. Like, just get as much, like, keep our mana topped off. We're just going to keep spamming our spells. I'm going to keep hitting with axes. And, yeah, like this Bambi is not going to be able to heal up Odyssey fast enough. He did get a counter kill there on the Beastmaster, which is nice. Allowed him to kind of compensate for this. Oh, he's actually a level above them now.
It's actually kind of hilarious because he actually only died because he doesn't have a point into Call of the Wild. If he had the Beastmaster with the boar slow, then he probably ends up living there. But because he doesn't, Odyssey can't find the raises. Kill him just heads up 100-0. And that is one of the things that Shadow Fiend is going to be able to do in this game that we didn't see always from the carries last game, at least until later, from the Morph especially, is early on being a viable threat to these heroes. And they kind of have to keep this pressure up onto him. Billy is doing a decent job at that, so if they can get one more kill onto him, they'll feel very good about their life. But one of the issues with the Skywrath Mage, and probably why neither of us are that big of a fan of him, eventually just very quickly run out of mana. I mean, look at him. Already down to like half. Needs already fairy and extra charities.
I was playing a lot of Mask of Madness Shadow Fiend when the right click bolt came back, but then that was when you didn't skill raises at all. You didn't like put levels and stats before you
is Shadow Tricks dead?
raise. Yeah.
I think Shadow Tricks is dead. Yeah, he's dead. He's 100% dead.
Oh, good raise. There's levels like Odyssey's actually playing this really well. Like, he's struggling on the CS, but if you look at the net worth, it's actually not significant at all because he's getting kills here. He's the highest net worth on his team with the lowest last hits. So, spam, man. I hate Scarif
fine,
so
dude.
much. Like, I hate Scarif.
But he's done. Like, the span's finished now. He only has one mango left. Does Odyssey have razors? Yeah, dude, Scarif Mage is dead. Oh, no, he's out of mana.
Is he?
Oh, my God. No, he ran out of mana on the Shadow Fiend. His stack was still on cooldown for a little bit longer. So he couldn't get enough mana for the short race. Went for medium long. If he had enough mana for short, that would have been a dead Scarlet Mage too. But that's one thing that sucks about playing SWM. Oh, bottom. Oh, no.
That is big.
That
is
can't
big.
happen. Not a hero. What happened and why was it allowed to happen?
He was half HP and he got speared in the face. And he was facing them because he got speared in the face. And it was probably that cookie level 1. Like the cookies on CD, he used it. So nice series of stuns there. They like the Tiger should not be going down in this lane. Like there's he went Soul Ring before he bought the Ring of Health.
Yeah, that probably contributed to his death. And Bipolar didn't have any point into Cold Embrace just yet. He went 2 points blast. Didn't get the value point into the E. So anytime that they make that kind of play while he's on half HP, he is going to end up dying. Top lane, Shadow Trick still doesn't have Call of the Wild. He doesn't have Boot, he doesn't have Call of the Wild, and therefore he doesn't have any options. So he will find himself getting run down. Fortunately, though, it's not all bad news for his team. He was abandoned for a moment in the top lane because Billy was in the mid lane getting a kill onto the sniper with the help of Phoenix. So they at least get something on the map. But unfortunately, up until this point, it's been free farm for Pog Daddy. So him dying here, yes, it's big that he loses his life, but it creates an opportunity for Shadow Fiend to get more out of this game. They might get another kill in this bottom lane too, but they've taken too much damage from the Bristleback. They need to back off from this one.
5 pulls on them. Oh wait, there's a good spear, but I don't think it's good enough.
Spear. Shaz was a great spear, but unfortunately it only also dooms Rasputin because he'd already used the Fire Snap Quickie. Wannabe does come in with the Nature's Attendance. Shaz doesn't get to tagged with the Splinter Blast from the Winter Wyvern, so will not actually end up losing any HP here. Somewhat of a bizarre TP coming in from the Enchantress because now it puts Odyssey in a very awkward position in the top lane. Snapfire instead needs to come and stop around with him.
Okay, yeah, Snap stop with him. But also, like, Phoenix has a haste rune bottle in his bottle here. Like, he could definitely make a move to these side lanes, especially because top. Like, top is... I guess they're waiting for Raw to be up because it's a bit slowed down, but Shadow Trick is committing to this Axis build, like, completely.
They're about to lose Gareth Mage. Billy is certainly going to die here. Nice silence coming in with the Ancient Seal, but it's not going to matter. Long range raise comes in for Odyssey. Dude, he still doesn't have any ball points, so he can't actually
he needs 4. Like the Axis spam is just not doing enough. And like you've got 2 levels of Inner Beast, but you're not clicking these heroes because you're trying to run away from them. Okay, there's the rotation by Phoenix.
I mean,
But that's not possible though.
yep,
Ooh,
that's
bottom?
a haste rune popped as
Shaz
well
was
for it,
taking
so I'll
damage?
take this any day of the week. Bottom, Shaz was taking quite a bit of damage, but with the Spear of Mars, able to push back the Winter Wyvern, prevent any further regression. So Tiger can just go back to farming. Nothing more on the cards from him. He needs to be careful now, though, because of this puck rotation having already happened to the top lane. Oh, no, they speared him. Is he going to die, Tiger? In danger? Being ran down by a Hellbear Smasher? Is the Hellbear going to tank the tower hits? Yes, it is. It tanks the tower hits and gives them some additional damage. Dude, that cannot happen. Bipolar, where were you?
That's so hard. And the thing is, like, you spoke about Puck using that haste rune on the Snapfire. The thing is, when your Puck makes those rotations, you want to be getting a bigger kill because it's leaving the sniper in this lane open. And you kind of need to... Is leaving sniper worth it? Who am I killing? And killing the Snapfire in that situation, which wasn't on a streak or anything along those lines, has just allowed sniper to hit creeps again. And this draft from Royalty is going to hit hard when it comes online. Oh, bottom by Phoenix?
Bottom lane. They made this rotation. They do find the Mars, so that's a decent move from them. I actually thought that Mars had dodged it. He made a very good read and retreated, but didn't retreat fast enough. And might also end up dooming Rasputin to a similar fate as Phoenix trying to chase him down. The Magic Wand will buy some space and time, but it's only going to be a delay at that. 2 heroes will fall in this bottom lane. They want to try and get this Shadow Tricks, trying to chase down Odyssey underneath the tier 1 tower. Is going to be able to do it. How did he get that right? Shadow Tricks, what a player. Will die for this, but hashtag... Oh, wait.
Oh!
What? No way.
Really?
Dude, TP out. TP. Oh my gosh. Is he actually going to get away with this? He got away with it. What
it's a level
player.
1 impetus. It's level 1. If that was level 2, God, it's a level 1 impetus.
Wow.
I don't know what to say. I
It's
don't
been a
even
very
know how I got
bizarre,
that kill.
like, last 2 minutes. Like, He just ran him down with Bro. That was weird.
Shadow Fiend has been fine killing Beastmaster the entire time, and now suddenly like he probably just misplayed and got like too many axe stacks on him, and like it just ramped up way too quickly because people hasn't played against like an axe like this Beastmaster axe ball in a long time. Like you don't see a hard commitment like this. Like usually like 2 or 3 levels. Even when you're playing against heroes like Witch Doctor that stuns your creeps for like 4 seconds, or Enigma that eats them, or Bambi that takes over them, people tend to do like 2 levels and then still getting levels of Call of the Wild because you still want the Hawk and you want the ball. So especially the Hawk.
Top lane, we're gonna see a rotation coming in here. Phoenix smoked up with the Skyrath Mage. They want to try and burst down Pog Daddy if possible. Is situated behind the tier 1 tower. Shadow Tricks baiting with his own life so that he can reveal the positioning, and they have taken the bait. They've fallen for the trap. Pog Daddy, no chance of surviving this one. Way too much damage. Will be the first one to fall here. They even drop the Primal Roar onto this Enchantress. They know they have the magical damage to be able to kill her even through the Untouchable, and they indeed will demonstrate that. 2 heroes fall in the top lane. Phoenix making very good use of those hugs. Are they going to kill him again? Oh, they already did. How do they keep doing this?
When the moment they went on top lane, they dropped the arena bottom. So that's really good play by Royalty. Yes, you lost your sniper and the Bambi, but you counter that by killing this Bristleback, like trying to get pressure on the lanes. It's just good exchanges. Like don't overcommit by TPing people in. No help my friend syndrome, and just getting a kill on a different area of the map and playing their game. So Shazza has got phase boots. He's going for Blink Dagger next. He's 1,000 gold away from it. I'm just trying to see items. Snapfire is also going Blink Dagger, but he's probably going to buy Shard before he finishes the Blink
Dagger.
Buddy?
You sure, buddy?
Yeah, sure. No. He should buy Shard. But also, he only has brown boots though. It feels a bit wonky. Oh, there we go.
They're looking for bipolar in this bottom lane. They missed the spear though, so they won't be able to get a kill. They'll just throw in the fire snap quickie to get the Mars out of trouble. So although they have put in a small army.
Yeah, like this is the strength of Wyvern as well. Like he's just sitting this bot lane. Like he's keeping this tower alive by himself. Like let the other heroes farm. Bristle's in the jungle now. Like Puck is like in the mid lane. He's gonna look for kills. Like Shadow Tricks on this Beastmaster is top lane just farming. He's got his home dom now as well, so that's gonna accelerate him as well. And is he going for Helm of the Overlord? Pretty standard. But meanwhile, Royalty has 3 heroes bottom trying to pressure this tower against the Winter Wyvern.
We saw this last game as well, where it seems like they do have a bit of a struggle in this immediate aftermath of the laning phase, but just before the mid game starts, their general early game has some issues, but things to work on for them as well. Mid lane though, we do have a smoke. Billy and Phoenix want to utilize this combo yet again. This time they are after some beefier quarry here, with Odyssey being the one that's stacked up in this mid lane. They've dropped out an Observer Ward, but he's positioned very, very well. So they're rather going to go bottom instead.
This bot lane is hurting them so much. Like they're all 3 just sitting here. Like Shazza's not really hitting the creeps. Oh, they counter smoked.
Oh no, they smoked, but smoke on smoke. They have the high ground, but they don't get the stun out in time because Waning Rift came first, and now there's going to be a quick burst onto Rasputin. The will be a quick kill. Will they be able to turn this into a double? Wannabe providing space and time by healing up, and Pog Daddy also showing up with the sniper. Winter Wyvern will drop the curse off the arena, catches her inside, but unfortunately Pog Daddy is right outside of it, can still lay in this damage. Nobody's died just yet though on the side of WRG. Pog Daddy doesn't deal enough damage just yet to fully threaten these heroes' lives. So although he made this rotation bottom, it'll turn out to have been a waste of the sniper's time, but they lose the Snapfire anyway without getting much more in the process. Like you mentioned, them being in this bottom lane really is hurting them at this point in the game.
Yeah, like they're losing levels, they're losing farm. Like this Winter Wyvern is the plus 5. He's level 8. Like he's level 8 compared to Bambi's level 6 and Snapfire's level 7, because they're all just kind of sharing XP at the moment, and it's
look where Beastmaster is.
Yeah, Beastmaster is farming jungle. Level 12.
I think he dies though. Yeah. Level 12. He's gonna give away so much experience though here. Let us see. It's gonna take them a while though if they can actually get this kill. Looking very difficult. Odyssey is here though. Double damage rune. They even committed the Fire Snap ultimate, throwing in the Morty's Kisses from afar. That enables them to kill Shadow Tricks, but that is literally a full 5 hero commitment to kill the offlane Beastmaster.
So with how much farm has he gotten out farming that jungle? It's taking it away from Shadow Fiend and Sniper, which both kind of like want to be capitalizing on that space of the map at the moment. And you rotate 5 heroes to kill him.
Radiant
So,
structures are fortified.
like, I think he's way more than happy
Billy?
with that.
Billy? What happened? He just
Well-
ran into them. He gets tipped immediately. There's going to be a Dream Coil, but where's the follow-up from this one? That was very bizarre. Tiger now shows up, but as soon as he does, he realizes that they don't have any more disable. So his presence here somewhat moot. He'll immediately start backtracking into the jungle. Okay, some awkward things have happened here in this mid lane, but I think he did the right thing because him putting his life on the line there does prevent Royalty from putting any extra damage onto the tower. So it keeps this game in a positive overall state for them, even if they lose the Skywrath.
The main thing for me is I do think WRG is on a bit of a timer here. I know Bristleback late game is pretty scary. Puck doesn't really fall off with the item builds that he's going at the moment, and Beastmaster can be a terror. But you're playing into Shadow Fiend plus Sniper. Bambi will start hitting you as well. Like, Snapfire scales very well into the late game. And we've seen Mars's go Refresher now, which just makes them an absolute nuisance. I do think WRG is on a bit of a timer here, and they need to start trying to get this mid tower down when their spells are up. And they need to stop playing the map. And Shadow Tricks on this Beastmaster has been doing exactly that. He's been trying to, like, shut down the space Royalty has by, like, invading their jungle, playing here. It does seem that Death is, like... like chased him out of it a bit now. He doesn't want to go play there again. But I do think he just needs to play like that and take a support with you. You get maybe a kill with Skywrath Mage with the Raw. Because I think if Sky was there, they would definitely have gotten like a counter kill. And you are out farming and out leveling the enemy.
Right now, it is still an overall positive development for them. They have a lot of real estate that they're keeping positive. We're 16 minutes into the game and they've yet to lose a tier 1 tower. Compare and contrast with Royalty Esports, who only have their tier 1 mid remaining. However, they are going to be defending this with all their effort. And they're thinking about revealing this Blink Dagger top lane. They've scouted Tiger. I think Tiger's actually dead.
Royalty's not shoving out their lanes though. Like look at bottom, look at middle. And like going for a kill like this is really hard because none of your lanes are pushed in. Like this was an easy read for Tiger because, hey, Bambi's middle. Our Wyvern is pushing bottom by himself. No one's contesting this wave. They all are sitting in this jungle area. 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes and Shadow Fiend is bottom.
So Tiger made a good read about the rotation coming in towards him, but Pog Daddy regrettably could not do the same. And he ends up getting immediately eviscerated inside of the Dire jungle. As much as you were saying that Tiger could easily read that move because of the lanes not being pushed out, with all these heroes missing on the map, I feel like he could have read that move as well on the sniper. Maybe move towards the bottom side to keep
The thing is, like he needs to be showing in a lane, like farming creep waves, or they need to shove out their lane so you can get map info. Because if creeps are hitting towers, heroes react, and then you kind of know where you can and can't farm. And like Royalty is just not shoving these lanes at all. Like they're kind of waiting for WRG to do something, and then they want to react to it. Like, look at Shazza has Blink though.
He's been sitting with this Blink. Does he want to reveal it just yet? Throws in the Spear just to try and clear out this creep wave. He's immediately building Aghanim Shot as well because he wants some more clearing ability available. They will pop the Fortification as they bring in Pog Daddy as well. Yet again, they force a full team response. However, this time around though, they have the full team here. Shadow Tricks, he was trying to get out, but he gets caught by the arena. Certainly going to find himself dying here. They try to buy time with the Cold Embrace, but it will not matter. It is a lot of ultimates committed for this one, but WRG, let's see what they can do on the counter. They get the Winter's Curse out with the Mystic Flare. They will be able to bring down Pog Daddy Sniper with several heroes silenced up by this Puck as well. Tiger coming in to be the cleanup crew. They've already managed to bring down 2, make that 3. The Snapfire will fight back though to try and come back and help defenders, but it's just going to be a dieback for Rasputin, giving away gold for Tiger at this point. Billy grabs a double kill off of this, and this chase will not stop. Wannabe getting ran down as well. Will be a triple for Tiger. Odyssey hoping they at least get a counter kill onto Bipolar, but the Cold Embrace will prevent that. And now the damage from the rest of WRG will prevent him being alive as well. This time around here, Notahero, they are the ones that claim the full team wipe in this mid lane.
It was just much better played by WRG. They lost the Beastmaster. You knew we still had the Wyvern ulti. They set it up. No one wanted to share the Skywrath Mage damage, the ulti on the sniper. There was 2 heroes next to him. No one ran in to share the damage. He just took the entire grunt of that to the face. And like, there's just no response. They need BKBs before they can make these engagements. And it seems like they're going to be like way off. Like Sniper's going BKB next. Like Shadow Fiend hasn't even queued his up yet. He wants the Manta first. And like we saw from the pause 1 snipers in NA, it was literally like
it was Mask of Madness or Dragonlance, and then it was BKB, like straight away. Yeah, and maybe like a Crystallis in between, just to like so you can actually hit. But it was like Crystallis, Dragonlance, BKB straight away. Like there wasn't like Maelstroms or like big items in between. It was just I want to be fight ready as fast as possible, and the BKB is kind of what he needs, and he also needs a shard, like. But it's the silences that are hurting them. It's Puck silence, Scarith Mage silence. They need ways to get rid of them.
At some point, I would not be very unhappy to see somebody queuing up a Lotus Orb either, just to have as many forms of Dispel as humanly possible. To be fair, with the Shadow Fiend's item build, once he finishes this Manta, he's not as concerned about the silences anymore. And then once he gets to BKB, he's feeling really, really strong in the fight. But he'll need it. He's still, though, choosing to go for the shard first, prioritizing that additional right-click damage over and above just having pure magic immunity. The team's on the back foot here, but...
The supports on Royalty need to stop pushing out these side lanes. Like, that's how they're going to get farm. That's how you get info for your carries. Because look at the net worth on the supports of Royalty. Like, they're right at the bottom, and by quite a big amount. Like, yes, like, Rasputin did buy back, oh, he's dead.
Nice
Oh,
one.
he got the cookie off before he got silenced. That was nice.
But because
the thing is,
it's one of these awkward things where
Yeah,
the
he's got
Rod of
Brown
8
Boots
plus
one.
range is... Yeah, he has no movement, dude. Very awkward.
range of Rod of Aetos is bigger than the silence, you say.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because I've done that before. Like every time that you play against Scarlet Mage, if you have any kind of mobility spell, he actually can't kill you like solo anymore. Because of how long it takes Aetos to hit you versus how long he has to come and then Ancient Seal you. Unless he has Blink Dagger, he actually can't make that play happen. It's very unfortunate, but what can you do? This is also why Zeus is really, really good. Like you can get off Heavenly Jump as well right before the thing hits, which makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, because you're not moving. You're supposed to just jump straight into there. Yeah. But, yeah, with the rod, it works. It's like, Dota. We spoke about Dawnbreaker and Ignite earlier. Like, I don't know. Like Dawnbreaker Shard doesn't dispel Ignite. Okay.
Okay. Smoke up now from WRG. They're going to once be pressing the advantage on the map. They have a 5k gold lead right now. Pretty substantial experience lead as well. Every metric in the game pointing towards their victory. Fortunately, though, for the side of Royalty Esports, this time around, WRG will not find what they're looking for. But still,
Where's WRG's vision, apart from the hole?
they've got one ward in Radiant Jungle, Dire Jungle, but that's pretty much it. This one just will steal Roche. They've got a double damage on Tiger with Aghanim Scepter on the Bristleback. So they don't need vision because we're super strong. We can just take down the big man. And that is in sub
Royalty
10
needs to get a
seconds.
tier
Roche
one.
gone.
Royalty needs to push the spot in hard now. Like, they know the people on the pit, they can't TP in. They're shrapnel to see it though, but they need to get some map control. Okay, there we go. But now there's 4 heroes bottom again. Like, it just kind of feels like the pressure is getting to them, like that WRG are applying, and they're hugging too much. Like, Snapfire needs to be pushing a lane. Like, Bambi can babysit one of the cores because she is going 4-star. She actually has the 4-star, so she should be the... Like, I'm the buffer to one of the carries, but the Snap needs to be shoving lanes, so Mars needs to be doing the same. So Shadow Fiend is sniping a farm and get to these items. The Manta's up now for the SF, he's going BKB next. And how far is Sniper off is? Like, still quite a bit. Yo. I don't want to defend this top.
Where did Sniper's gold go? That he's like struggling to farm so much.
Hammer. Yeah, I'm not so sure. He does have 9k. Bristle's only on like 12k, so he's not that far behind. But...
Well, he might be able to farm some of these heroes here. Not a hero, because they are looking towards Bipolar. He tries to save his life with the Cold Embrace, but oh no, the spear pushes him out of the Morty's Kisses. That saves his life. Oh no, that's not supposed to happen. Pog Daddy now needs to TP out very quickly. Will he get away? Yes, he will.
Oh,
with the sliver of HP. The spear helping to send back these heroes. He took a huge risk though. Look where he TP'd. He TP'd to the tier 3, not into the fountain. But he somehow manages to escape and keep his life going.
So the Snapfire ulti is super nullified. Oh wait, what's going on? Oh no, the Snapfire ulti is super nullified at the moment because this was a thing that was so frustrating because, you know, I'm a big Snapfire player, but when Wyverns get Holy Locket, it out heals the damage that the Snap ulti does. The Morty's Kisses doesn't do enough damage to kill you while you Cold Embrace. You actually end up out healing it. So the moment the Cold Embrace goes onto a target, like Rasputin on the Snapfire, he has to change targets. He needs to then start dropping them onto someone that doesn't have Cold Embrace on them, because it will not drop their HP. They'll just stay exactly where they are.
Tough game on
And
your
this is
hands
a
here,
really
Snapfire.
Really nice pickup by Polar though. Like Holy Locket, okay, if you ever Snapfire is targeting, like they're not dying. So very nice pickup.
For me, a really great pickup is coming now as well. Now that they've taken down this tower in this mid lane, Tiger has access to a BKB. So they've got a BKB on this Bristleback, a full Blink BTs with the Witchblade out on this Puck. Puck's actually trying to aggress onto Odyssey. Odyssey does not have BKB. So Odyssey is actually in a very dangerous position here. If he cannot successfully juke Phoenix, he needs to go for... Oh no, he did it too soon. He needed the ultimate, but the ultimate's not available for him. He can't actually fear away. Phoenix is actually going to die, but no, maybe not. Turns around with the Manta, trying to throw in the damage, but he did this a little bit too late. He should have started doing this at first. Had he done that as a initial measure, maybe Phoenix dies before Billy can come and help him, but does it too late. And at the same time, they also managed to lose Snapfire in the mid lane. Snapfire follows him into the grave. There is a blink away, or blink towards Wannabe as he did force off to the low ground. He will be allowed to escape the fight, but your most important heroes on the map have already been lost here, not a hero. And now suddenly you're in danger of losing Rax as well.
It's just like they haven't been playing the map, and we've been speaking about it, and now WRG is at the stage where they've kind of got this deathfall going. Like this Bristle is massive, he's got this Beastmaster behind him with Helm of Overlord, maxed auras, dive bombs on the Hawk, and Wyvern with Holy Locket to keep them topped up. So like these heroes aren't going down. Like if he drops this Cold Embrace into this Bristleback. Max heal per second 4%. Bristleback sitting at 2.8k HP. Like he's not dying.
We mentioned it when we were talking about the
And
draft
there's no Soul's
initially.
Edge.
No, still none. I was actually about to bring that up. Like we were talking about in the draft that WRG are certainly going to be looking for this 25-minute timing to just try and be mega strong and aggress, and that the answer to this was making sure that there are some Silver Edge buyers. Like we anticipated Odyssey would go for a more magic-orientated build, leaving Park Daddy to build the edge. Lol. But neither of them, so they did neither, right? They went for the worst of all possible worlds. Both of them are like farming right-click right now, and it's like, okay, this is okay in a condition where the game is somewhat even, but when you're this far behind, they're just lacking so much. And here, dive from onto 2 with the Dream Coil there. Mystic Flare follows this one up. We have a dead Sniper. We have a soon-to-be dead Enchantress. The Shadow Fiend can't even wind up the Requiem because he dies too quickly. And these 3 heroes, they went outside the base to poke their heads out. Turned out to be a mistake here, not a hero. They all 3 die, and that's certainly going to be another lane of Rax.
Yeah, I definitely think Odyssey on the Shadow Fiend should have gone like Crystallis into BKB and then finished the Silvers. Because it'll give him like right click damage. Like this Dragon Lance Manta hasn't really done anything for him. Like there's like so many forms of silence, so many forms of stun. But we also haven't seen them play off their Mars. Like they haven't been playing off Shazza on this Mars. He hasn't been able to go in with his BKB. Like his BKB still at 9 seconds. Hasn't used it once.
Used it. Hasn't needed to. What for? Like you mentioned, they have the Cold Embrace heal from the Winter Wyvern. He's just super tanky right now. They've got so much magic damage that by the time you get to him, you've lost all your HP. Like, there's no need for him to use this. And now this Puck, who's been also doing a phenomenal job this game. Phoenix has finished the full Octarine Core. When Puck is finishing Octarine Core, before Sniper is finishing BKB, you know you've got some problems in your game.
And it's not just Octarine Core, it's Octarine Core with Quickening Charm. Like, this is ridiculous.
4.7-second cooldown on Lucio. Alright, seems fair and balanced, but they catch him! He got hit with the spear. Unfortunately, they just lack the damage to reliably kill him. Requiem will come out right now. They've already lost themselves on Mars. Snapfire follows up as well. Park Daddy will get roared and killed. Shadow Fiend is just watching, but that's all he can do. Pretty useless at this point in the game without the BKB being active. Triple kill for Tiger. Another lane of Rax. And I don't see a way back in this game here for Royalty Esports. This should be the GG core coming soon, because they're just being run over by the tempo of this Bristleback Beastmaster lineup.
Yeah, they just like didn't itemize to deal with this Bristle, and they never played the map. Like they never shoved out the lanes, and this time WRG exploited it fully.
The moment they got this eggs up, it was go, 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 go. And it was just great itemization. Bipolar with that Holy Locket completely nullified the Snapfire's damage. Like Shadow Tricks on the Beastmaster, like even though his skill build in the lane was very greedy, it made it work at the end of the day because he got to dive bomb, he got the roars off. Like there was always a Skyraf mage in range to drop the ultis, and Phoenix on the on the puck. You said it, like 5-0 and 14, didn't die a single time. There was no hard stuns in that game for the puck, so a really good pickup by WRG, and we going to a game 3, Snare.
We are indeed going to a Game 3. Royalty Esports yet again brought up a bit of an interesting draft at the end, but this time around, like you mentioned, WRG knew how to exploit it. One of the things that we actually spoke about in the draft itself is the way that this Beastmaster hero is often played, that it can just cascade any mistakes you make, suddenly half your map is just gone. And Shadow Tricks did a phenomenal job, not just of keeping pressure on the lane, but every single time they just had very little movement to play around on the side of the Royalty Esports. I mean, it's a situation where even though they don't have vision through observer wards, they have hawks everywhere, just consolidating half the map, forcing the size of the map for the side of Royalty Esports to be so small. And the kind of heroes that they have available to them, Shadow Fiend, Sniper, these are not heroes that play well from behind. If you start falling behind with these heroes, honestly, the game is impossible. In fact, I would want to actually check the stat. Has there been any professional game of Sniper or Shadow Fiend that they've won without BKB? I'm not sure. I actually don't think so. I want to go and try and figure that out. This is not those games though. Only one BKB for the Mars. Neither the Sniper or the SF had any items. And the crucial thing, we never got the Silver Edge. So not only did Shadow Tricks and Phoenix have a free game, Tiger could do whatever the hell he wanted. After the laning phase here, not a hero, just complete domination coming in from this Bristleback.
Yeah, no, like he had no problems this game. He got that Ags when they were sieging that mid tower, and from that point on, it was just like foot on the gas. Let's go, keep running, keep fighting. But the thing is, WRG always had the lanes pushed out. We saw Bipolar sit in that bottom lane for it was probably 7-8 minutes. We just kept spamming the waves, and Royalty kept 3 heroes there. Like it was a pulse 5-1 survivor and sitting there deep pushing the lane, and you've got 3 of your heroes watching him do it, not reacting at all. Just like, okay, we can't jump him, but now we're just standing there, and that was the difference. And WRG just took full advantage. We saw 6k net worth around like the 17-18 minute mark, and it just got completely out of hand. So they need to be pushing out the lanes. They can't have both their supports bottom net worth during the whole game. The farm distribution for Royalty at the moment, like this game 2 was a problem, and they need to fix it for game 3.
Let us see though if they'll be taking on the advice from Notahero once we get into that deciding game number 3. The winner of that game will be allowed to proceed within the winner side of this bracket here in EGL 1 Season 3. The loser will drop down to the lower bracket and have to battle it out with no more lifelines left within the tournament. They need to make sure that they bring their best foot forward from the side of Royalty. Whiterabbit Gaming have done enough to wrest back control of this series. We'll see if they can take it over the finish line. Before we go to a break though, just want to remind everybody at home that this is not just us entertaining you. This is not just us trying to determine who's the best Dota 2 team within South Africa. This is also us here at EGL 1 giving something back to y'all for your time and attention. So if you haven't already, please type in only once EGL1 in all caps in the chat, and I will be putting you into a draw, the winner of which will be winning a wonderful Evetech mousepad. Those mousepads are pretty great. I'm trying to get one myself, so maybe type in EGL1 hashtag for Snare. Do the right thing. Anyway, we're going to be taking a very short break, and when we return, the culmination of the series, the finale of WRG versus Royalty Esports. You do not want to miss it, so we'll see you soon to continue this EGL action. Welcome back, one and all, here to the third season of EGL 1. We have just seen the side of Whiterabbit Gaming bring back game number 2, force us to a deciding game number 3. Of course, we get to witness more Dota, and we get to make sure that we have a much more competitive enterprise before seeing one of the first teams to progress in the winner's side of this bracket. My name is Snare, of course, as you know, and of course, nobody needs an introduction to Notahero. Good sir. It was a shellacking in game number 2, game and level shellacking, as it would be called by Suns fan. Game number 3, let's say you're the coach right now. What have you been saying to the side of Royalty Esports to get them back into this game?
They just need to not overthink their plays, because we thought that Shadowfiend pick was solely coming out because it was a silver edge builder for this bristle. It's what then it wasn't. He went Dragon Lance Manta, and I guess they thought they would have more time. And if you want more times in games like that, then you need to be pushing out your lanes effectively, because WLG had a very snowballing lineup. Puck can fight permanently. Bristle can fight permanently. Beastmaster, he's there to provide the raw, and when he doesn't have raw, you've got Dive Bomb, which is just as good, and the aura for these other heroes. And they had a very low cooldown draft, and I feel that Royalty could never fight because they always needed another item and another item and another item, and they just need to address what's in front of them. Push out your lanes with your supports, even if they die. If your support farms 600 gold and gives away 200, it's still a 400 deficit in your favor, but your carries are also getting that information to know where they can and can't farm. So just play the map, because they didn't play the map. WLG were choking them and choking them and choking them. And when they were showing up for these fights, by the time Mars had Blink BKB, and he never had an opening to go in and fight. He never had an opening. Who does he go on? Puck and dodge him. Bristle doesn't really care, because at that stage the Wyvern had Holy Locket. I think the Holy Locket pickup by Bipolar was so good. Genius. It was so good. It out heals the snap heal. Mars doesn't really have damage. People forget. He's got this big arena, and he's got a spear that does a bit of damage, and his crit does a bit, but he's mainly kind of just a setup, and he's not going to beat you down unless he's going Deso and monster items. But that Holy Locket just made this bristleback completely untouchable. So very good plays by WLG. So yeah, they just need to play the map better and just look what's in front of them, because it didn't feel like they addressed the bristleback at all.
There were concepts to try and address the bristleback in the draft itself, but how it actually panned out in the game, it certainly didn't live up to what was supposed to be accomplished with the heroes that they picked up for themselves. I mean, you were talking about how Shadowtrix helped to control this game. He started this game by just going all in on this Wild Axis build, understanding that I'm going to use this to try and dominate the Shadowfiend early. He was anticipating it would fall off later, but BKBs never emerged from SF or Sniper, so it never really got a chance to fall off. Always very strong. They always had a ton of damage. It just worked out for them. So I'm hoping that for this game 3, the side of Royalty Esports have figured out a way to try and play the game as it exists, not just a game in concept. And before they get into that third and deciding draft, before we witness which team will be proceeding within the winner bracket, we must still determine another winner here. If you all will remember, I had asked you very nicely to type in EGL1, and then Notahero had admonished you to only type it in once. Well, as a result of that, we have now figured out who we're going to be giving the Evetech mousepad to, and it is going to be going to Fractu. So Fractu, wherever you are at right there, one of our management and mod team members will be reaching out to you in the chat. The moment you see that message, please respond to them in a DM, and then we will figure out how to get that particular mousepad to you. Now with that particular...
Don't worry, Fractu, we'll use the SA Postal Service. You'll receive it soon.
Not a hero's coming to your house personally. He's going to drive up from Durban. Don't worry.
Yo. I hope he stays around the corner.
Oh, lord.
Okay, but let's go.
Well, the draft is right around the corner here, Notahero. So let's get it. Let's get into it. And also...
So now the meta is already developing. We can see it. Winter Wyvern has won both games. Ban the Winter Wyvern.
Yep.
But we spoke about healing supports, and I guess he falls into that same category. So just by being able to do that, but last game Bipolar only started skilling the Cold Embrace. Level 5, I think. He didn't need it early on, but it was with the bristleback, so all good. But Dawnbreaker, Marcy still being taken out, no surprises there. But that means Tiny is here. Royalty should snap up Tiny right now. Like they shouldn't even hesitate.
Yep.
Like they won with the tiny pick. The hero is busted.
10 seconds
They need to pick tiny right now. Like that's what they have to do.
5 seconds remaining.
I fully
And it's
agree.
flex.
Get tiny,
Yeah.
deny them. Yeah, deny it because WRG could easily go tiny Razor then. Like it might not have worked out game 1 for Phoenix, but it has much more to do with the build than the hero.
Oh,
But
they
they
saw
are
the
actually
puck.
feeling like the issue was the puck. This is actually very interesting because in my opinion and in the opinion of many other folk who I trust on Dota, Tiny is the counter to puck, especially if played in the core role, and it's how you end up
Especially
dealing with
with-
this hero.
Especially with how the stun has changed. Like
Yeah,
in
like
the
it's
past,
perma-stun
puck
now.
could-
You don't have
yeah,
instances.
puck could face shots between the stuns. Now, no. You're not moving, little fairy dragon.
5 seconds
So,
remaining.
no, it's definitely. I can't believe they just gave away like this tiny pickup. Like it's like ban Skyreth Mage, ban Tiny. Then if you're not going to pick it, then give them Skyreth.
But remember game 1, WRG went Razor, Crystal Maiden, even though they could have picked Tiny. So maybe maybe they're just gambling on the side of royalty that WRG don't actually believe all that much in the Tiny hero and that they'll let it go through the pool again. I have no doubt that's the conversation happening for WRG right now.
thing is,
How
Puck
highly
is-
do we value Tiny?
But Puck is in no way a flex though at
Dire
all.
team pick.
That means that Tiny is not going middle at all. Like he's not. Puck is going mid. Like the days of pos 3 Puck or pos 4, pos 5 Puck I think are gone. Like this hero goes to the mid lane and that's it. So I do still think the hero can be played as a 4, but its
10
main
seconds
impact has
remaining.
been in the mid lane where you get those big boy items.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Shaman response, obviously puck counter with the Hex. Lots of push, but once again, like I don't think this hero would have been banned. So like snapping him up as your first pick is it's a bit wonky. I guess they just wanted to address this puck right away, like to show him that he's not going to have a great game and start getting royalty esports to think about like their draft, like what do they need to do.
One thing I'm okay with the first pick Shadow Shaman is that it does give them some objective take as well. I think one of the big differences between game 1 and 2 for WRG wasn't just how well they moved on the map with their fights and how much better they were utilizing the vision overall, but they had some kind of way of actually knocking down towers. Game 1, that hero was supposed to be the Phoenix Razor, but he never got to the Aghanim Scepter, so they were very lacking in their ability to do stuff on the map. Game 2, of course, Beastmaster was just way too strong. Eventually, you get to the Tiger Bristleback point where you can't die anymore, and then that becomes your siege engine. So getting some kind of cheap damage, and they decide that they actually prefer the Beastmaster. So that, yeah, I mean, honestly, given how much better they looked with Beastmaster,
Yeah,
having
just what it
push-
provided on the map, like the vision
I'm
that
happy
it
with
gave, like how Shadow Tricks like played with it, like he took over that jungle. He
Radiant
just
team
like
back.
yes, he died when he did it, but that's not the point. Like the amount of space he created and allowed them to play the map and give them intel, it was more than enough. And Royalty responded to this Beastmaster pick the previous game with Enchantress, but
Radiant
Shadow
team
Tricks showed
back.
that, well, if you're going to pick Enchantress, I'm just not going to
Dire team
like
back.
skill more at all. And
got it like level 8 or something. That's ridiculous.
yeah, like, and it kind of nullifies it. And the thing is, it's not such a clear cookie cutter counter as it used to be, because she can't enchant the Helm of the Overlord creep. So it kind of like works against your favor. I don't know, like you're picking this hero to do a certain thing. Beastmaster just
5
changed it up,
seconds remaining.
and yeah, it was great. Like they go back for the pudge, which I guess they've won with it. Go to the heroes that you won with. No tiny band at all. Still, like it's.
Wow.
Dude,
Dude,
I don't
if
get it.
WRG can get away with this, if they can get away with actually getting second phase Tiny after already picking up Shadow Shaman Beastmaster, I'm just gonna throw my hands up. I'm gonna have to holler at the EGL 1 crew and say, sorry gang, get somebody else to cast this game, because then all my knowledge of Dota just goes out the window. I'd be so surprised if they don't ban. But the thing is, they have the pick out of ban, so there's no way. Wait, what? They
Okay,
ban
they
it.
They could have taken it.
Could have exactly, bro. Put the Tiny mid with Beastmaster offlane, Shadow Shaman support.
I guess they would play it might not, like Phoenix might not be like, it might not be a Phoenix hero. So
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I guess that's the thought process. Like you've already showed the Shadow Shaman, like you want him probably to be a pos 4 so he can get blink daggers and so on. We saw Kaka play Shadow Shaman quite a bit, and like he is Kaka loves playing Shadow Shaman into these lanes that don't have stuns, because then you end up just trading with them and you use the shackle to actually end up healing yourself back up again. Like I was watching him play against the Phoenix, like he would just shackle the Phoenix's like carry, and Phoenix would be like, okay, well take some fire spirits, and he doesn't care because he out heals them.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, well that's
That was one of
nice.
the weirder changes for me. Like,
Yeah, like the shackle that like heals you for 130 HP. It's a good change though. I think it allows them to fight and to get like heroes like Phoenix and not give a crap. And there's a Snapfire, like Snapfire plus Beastmaster, because they couldn't get the Skywrath Mage. And I actually think this was a better combo than the Sky is. So
it's crazy. Like, after you get a decent enough army with the Beastmaster, you get a little shredded, and then you just get 3 hits, and it's like, oh wow, that's a lot of damage.
onto
If they don't-
a rock golem or like even a boar in the early stages, it's just
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, you know, last game we saw the Axis build. I've seen it before, these Beastmasters, when they don't have to deal with such a, like, Shadow Fiend Enchantress. If you get, like, the second war point, it guarantees kills. Like, there's no way you can get around it. There's just way too much damage. It comes too quickly. Very difficult to stop. And this is not necessarily the hero that stops the damage outright, but will mitigate it with the Frost Shield. The
It's a
issue,
weird
though, with the
pickup, though.
Lich...
It's a weird pickup. Like usually, like you see these Lich pickups when there's like heavy physical damage, and Frost Shield is kind of like your buffer. But
10
like
seconds remaining.
Frost Shield for Lord Shredder, I guess Beastmaster creeps or Shadow Shaman
5
wards. I don't know, but
remaining.
it's a weird pickup. Like I've seen when Liches do come out, it just looks like so good. Like this, the Frost Shield looks so strong. I don't understand why the hero isn't more popular. We saw it like in the not this DPC, the previous leg, people were starting to play Lich and it was winning games because of Frost Shield, and then it just disappeared. Like it wasn't losing or anything, people just stopped picking it. So
In this game, it's like, it also has, you get Puck as well, right? So if you ever get a decent enough Dream Coil, it sets you up wonderfully for the Chain Frost that can end up coming out at that
There's so
point.
much-
And
there's so much nonsense though, like Beastmaster Boars and Helm Dom creep, and like it just
This
ends up bouncing between like all the creeps, and
yeah.
I don't know. Like I hear what you're saying, but I guess then the creeps are dead at least. But
you could 2-minute ultimate just to kill a Beastmaster army. Hashtag winning, bro.
yeah, like this is my farm now.
Dire team
Royalty
Whatever.
will now go for the Grimstroke. This is peculiar to me. Actually, the reason this is so peculiar to
Jeez,
me
man.
is that when we were talking about this Lich and the Frost Shield, I was going to mention how I've seen them play this in South America, where you use the Frost Shield as sort of like a pseudo-slow, like offensive tool. So you put this on the puck, jump in, start a fight. It's a sort of discount / wish edition of Grimstroke, but then they still pick the Grimstroke anyway.
So they
These
wanna
two
make-
supports-
And they're gonna pick Darkseer now and make Puck
Oh.
an anime warrior,
10 seconds
like
remaining.
Frost Shield, Inkswell, and Iron Shoal in go.
5
Like,
seconds.
just make him glow with every single effect in the game. I don't know. They end up picking up the Razor. I don't understand why. Maybe it's just like it is a meta hero at the moment, but it's usually as a 3. They did play it the first game as a mid. Puck mid against Razor. I think that's like Puck doesn't give a like two
Puck's
damns
fine.
about it.
Radiant
Yeah.
team back.
Part of the reason I think for the Razor pick, though, is
Dire team back.
also part of the reason why I was so surprised it did so badly in game number 1. If you get early BKB refresher, you actually destroy and demolish Pudge. You eat him for breakfast. In the early game, you can't actually stand up to all that damage, and it prevents Pudge from just being able to leverage how tanky he is in the midst of these fights. Suddenly, you're the team that's like dominating and dictating where everybody fights around. It just so happened that in game 1, the timings were drastically off. If the timings are off, it just feels super bad, but if the timings are good, most of the damage that I see from Royalty right now coming out is magic in nature. So if you get those early timings going for yourself, you run the Pudge out of these fights, you can create almost automatic space for the rest of the draft. So if that is the case, if they are going to play it that way, I can see the rationale behind going for this Razor.
Might
But it
also
also does
be-
depend on...
It might also be pos 1 Razor this time because like it kind of does the same thing against the Lifestealer that the Lifestealer did in game 1. Is it just runs at this Pudge. And I do think Razor has more scalability. You're talking about this BKB refresher. It just becomes way too much damage, and like then he gets an Ags as well. But Razor doesn't farm excessively fast, and they don't have like buffs, I guess. I don't know. Like I hope it's pos 1 Razor. Like that would make more sense to me. They can then pick up a mid. They can play off this Beastmaster or for this Beastmaster, Beastmaster can be secondary initiation. We spoke about the Void Spirit, it was banned now. But Royalty need to... They still need a carry pick here, unless they go Pudge carry.
No. Oh my god. Alright, so they were
These
watching
lads
some
know
OG
it's
Dota
10
the other
o'clock
day.
at night, eh? Like...
I don't think they do. I think maybe some of them might be university students on holiday right now. New semester hasn't started yet, so they're
But,
chilling. They're
you know,
like, well,
Have you seen Uragi's Arc Warden build? And it's actually been looking like really dope. It's looking so
Yeah.
good. Like he's going like Maelstrom into an Aether Lens and then he finishes Gleipnir. And it's
but
just,
wasn't that game 77 minutes? I think the game
well,
we
they,
played like
played
that.
it. They played it again today.
Oh my gosh.
It was the second time, and it looked good, man. Like Midas, Gleipnir, and Aether Lens, and you just become this big team fight control for your team. Like any hero that doesn't have a BKB just gets rooted, and with the Grimstroke is actually like really busted. Like link 2 targets, cast 2 Gleipnirs, Lich is there, and yeah, like he's responding with a Dragonite pickup though.
I was actually about to ask you about that because you're talking about how if you don't have BKBs on your cores, how much of an impact this Arc Warden, especially with this Uragi build, can have on your entire team. In this game though, with the Beastmaster, with the Dragonite pickup, they have 2 BKB buyers in the DK and the Razor. Does seem like it's going to be the safe lane Razor that you were calling. And of course, they have tons of push potential out of Beastmaster, Shadow Shaman, and out of the DK as well. So
Dragonite doesn't care about Puck. Like,
at all. Not only does it,
Yeah.
I was about to say, not only does it not care about Puck, but the Breathe Fire, one of the best tools in general against Arc Warden. Flat percent base damage reduction, which can be very, very good against the type of damage that the Arc Warden wants to pull out. Do you like it though as a last way to round out the draft for WRG?
It gives them more push. Like they can really push down towers without having like Razor rushing Ags. You've got Law Shredder plus Beastmaster plus Shadow Shaman and DK. Like you can really melt towers here. You've got good team fight. Like you've got little kill squads now. Dragonite plus Snapfire can kill. Beastmaster plus Snapfire can kill. Shadow Shaman with either of those heroes can kill. The 2 supports by themselves can kill a target. And I'm always a big fan when you have like intricate like little kill squads in your draft where you don't have to smoke up as 4 heroes. You can like kind of smoke up and then go 2 little separate
Prepare
directions
for battle.
and look for cores to kill. And we saw Secret do it today, and it was so good. Like they would get a kill on a core on the one side of the map, and then suddenly on the other side of the map another core goes down, and both parties were like smoked up because they just had like these little kill squads to take over the game with. And I see that from WLG's draft. I think Royalty. I'm not a fan of Grimstroke and Lich. I know the ulti combo it's a bit of a wonky thing, and it like we've all seen it destroy team fights. But once again, so much weight on Pug Daddy's shoulders on this Puck. Like you either have to hit hooks or Pug has to play out of his skin to secure this game for yourself. Like your win condition
30 seconds
is
to battle.
we have to create enough space and time for Arc Warden to get whatever build he's going. Like if he's going this Uragi double Gleipnir build, then so be it. But how do you do that when there's Beastmaster, Shadow Shaman, Snapfire, and Dragonite?
It's a lot of tempo coming out from WRG, and in my mind, one of the reasons I do not like what I'm seeing from Royalty is I don't like seeing supports that more or less occupy the same niche, do the same thing, and they don't have that
agreed.
much. And they need each other to be able to do that thing, right? If you don't get a good Soulbind Chain Frost combo, or the Chain Frost, God forbid, just bounces between those creeps that we were just talking about will be accrued on the Beastmaster, suddenly you're feeling a lot less impactful in these fights. So Royalty, I mean, this is sort of like watching one of those Olympic gymnast performances, right? Where the difficulty level, the modifier, very, very high. However, if Royalty Esports can pull this off, they'll be getting all the style points for the rest of time. So let us find out together. Game number 3, Whiterabbit Gaming, Royalty Esports. Winner continues in the winner bracket here in EGL 1 Season 3. And the loser, of course, drops down to the lower. Let's get into it. Tell me, Mr. Notahero, where are we going to be getting our first blood in this game?
Well, there's currently 3 heroes top for the side of Royalty. But they're going to have to land a hook for this to work. But the thing is... Oh, there's a hook!
Nice. Got him. They got it, but they
he's
might not get
fast.
the kill. Oof, just barely. Just barely.
When you can hit hooks like that, Shazo, then I guess if you keep doing that, then we're good. But I want to comment on this Grimstroke pick, man. Like Grimstroke is usually paired up with like highly mobile heroes, mainly because of Inkswell being able to get on top of the target. And I know Puck is one of those heroes, but he's not someone that wants to like get in a hero's face. Like he wants to like go in, but still like maintain his distance. And the other reason you would pick him is because you have like good single target abilities that could like melt people with the link. And they have like one spell basically. I guess Pudge bites as well, but it's Lich ulti. That is it.
Double dismember. Lol, if I see that this game, dude, I'm actually gonna laugh out loud. Like that's gonna be so funny.
If you don't laugh out loud, I'm going to be very upset. So don't let us down, Royalty. We want to hear Snare chuckle like he's never chuckled before.
The maximum chuckle. Well,
The
this
chuckles.
mid lane. How do you feel about mid DK these days? Obviously, the matchup versus Puck is meh, whatever. We don't really care about how the lane is going to go because nothing's going to happen. But overall, you like it given that it gets to the Blink Dagger a lot faster than from the side lane?
So, I saw BZM play it today, and he actually went like Hand of Midas into Blink Dagger.
course
Just
he did.
because you were in this mid lane. And it's actually not that bad on Dragon Knight because when you're in your dragon form, having that bonus attack speed, it actually benefits from it. And you're naturally tanky, so not having a stat item doesn't really hurt you that bad. And he had like Hand of Midas plus Blink at like 12 minutes. So it's still around about the timing that you can start fighting. So, oh, there's a Shadow Shaman heal. Does he have
Shadow
boots?
Shaman
Why
heal
is
a
he
bit
so
too good.
fast?
He does have boots. He does, but he's gonna die anyway, despite having boots, because the Inkswell will end up stunning him out, and he loses his life in that situation. All right, Shah's out here with these hook plays here in this top lane, so they might not be having the normal mobile hero, but they still have some way of bringing the target to them so that the Inkswell always triggers.
Oh, Tiger took 2 levels of Static Link instead of Plasma Field. If he took 2 levels of Plasma Field, that would have been a kill. WLG, not liking the spell Plasma Field. Only taking it because they have to.
All right, let's hope this game, though, he doesn't find himself in a situation where he gets this 4-point or level 4 Storm Surge. We saw that happen from his mid laner on the other side.
That was 1-1-1. It was level 3.
Oh, level, yeah, it was level 3, right? Because you went for the
Yeah.
second point. Yeah, it was weird. So let's hope that this is going to be a bit more normal coming out from Tiger. As we have a quick pause on the line here, just some of the players giving their shouts out in general. So what are we thinking about the current game stage here? Things are just okay. Not that many kills. Most of the kills have gone, or all of them, have gone in favor of Royalty Esports. But most importantly, they're also farming decently on Odyssey down bottom. Is enough happening in this early game to make you have a little bit of confidence in this awkward pick?
So it's really weird to like judge it because we also don't know what build he's going to currently go. Is he going to kind of go the meta build, which he's seen Yuragi do? Is he even following that build? Like, is he just playing like Southeast Asian pubs or EU pubs? Because depending on that, that's the first time we've had this predicament there, is that a lot of our players are using Exit Lag to play on Southeast Asia at the moment, and the others are still playing on EU. And the meta in EU and the meta in Southeast Asia is completely different. And then they kind of like start mixing and mashing like when we start playing events like EGL, and we've seen Winter Wyvern being banned now. Like if you asked me if Winter Wyvern was going to be banned at all this entire tournament, I would have probably told you no. And it's now been a crucial pickup in both teams' victories, and in the third game we've seen it banned out. So it's kind of, so what build is he going to go on this Arc Warden? And that he needs time and space, and it does, like, Puck is having a decent time, but so is Dragon Knight. Arc Warden is CSing pretty effectively. But I do think Shazza on this patch is going to have to change up his build this game. Like, he can't go that Vanguard plus Hood this game. He's going to need that BKB way earlier. He's going to need that Blink Dagger way earlier. Because he's going to have to make plays with this Puck. We're going to need to see Dream Quills into hooks and play off that. Like, that's kind of your way to make sure your Arc Warden can take over this game. Because on the side of WLG... Say again?
I was just saying, I hope he skips Hood and just goes like Vanguard straight into the Blink BKB, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. And because on the side of WLG, you're going to have 4 heroes, actually 5 heroes, because the moment Razor has BKB, he doesn't need to farm anymore. Like, then he wants to kill you. You're going to have 5 heroes running at you, like, from 15, 60 minutes into the game. And if you're not ready for that, like, you have 2 options. You either need to dodge it and keep shoving out the map, keep trading. If they take a tower, you take a tower. Try and find a solo hero defending. and delay until you have your timings on your Arc Warden or your Pudge has this BKB. So they are going to have to play a bit of Ring Around the Rosie at a stage, and they are going to play a bit of dodging Dota. But I think when they have Dream Coil up, they have Hook with it, they need to be making smoke plays. Because like Lich and Grimstroke together can't kill. Unless, I guess, you find two heroes by themselves and you link them.
Yeah.
The ideal the ideal world scenario. Like, okay.
Oh, lol. That would be hilarious. If that ends up happening, it's just like, all right. I mean, given how topsy-turvy a lot of these engagements today have been, it wouldn't be too far out the picture for that to end up taking place. So I do think also, as much as pressure there is on Shaz, there's also a lot of pressure on Pog Daddy to not mess up his build. I do think at some point in this game he's going to realize that I probably need Lincoln Sphere, because he'll be the first person in the fight. If I'm Beastmaster on Shadow Tricks, at some point in this game I'm just like reserving Raw only for the Puck. Because if we kill Puck, they don't have any kind of team fight really. So
I love
things will be very... It's so good, dude. It's so good. A lot of players don't. I don't understand.
I think Lincoln's is a horrible item, but on Puck it just feels...
In general, yeah.
Like, it just feels so good. Like, at the moment, I think he is, like, probably one of the only heroes that are doing, like, Lincolns. I know, like, in certain games when there's, like, Doom, you see, like, 3 or 4 Lincoln Spheres coming out where they just stack them on each other. But, like, on Puck, it just feels... It feels beyond good. Like, mana regen, tankiness, like, just being able to react and dodge. But we are ready to resume this match.
Yes, let's get back into the game. Before we do though, let me make you laugh here, Etienne. So, top lane. This is not funny for the Grimstroke though. It's gonna be a very quick kill here. Try to turn things around with the Phantom's Embrace, but just gives away 10 gold. So there is a Faceless Void player in China by the name of Kaikyo who swears by a particular build on Faceless Void, right? And this build is Sanja and Yasha into Lincoln's. Even saying it just makes me laugh. I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? What's happening? Top lane, Pudge most likely going to end up dying here. There are 2 points into the plasma field, but nope, actually the turnaround is going to be there because Grimstroke just came back into the picture. Rasputin hitting the turnaround onto Tiger. Will they have the hook back in time? He had the hook, but he didn't have the mana. So Tiger will end up killing him. Razor does die immediately afterwards though. We'll see if Rasputin can turn this into a double. Billy is pretty fast and is fairly tanky at this point, so I don't think he'll be able to find this kill.
As he ran in there, the tree grew back in front of him. Like he had to eat its way out again.
Lol.
Okay. Like, but good game sense. A lot of players would have like, what just happened? And then like end up dying there. But that was...
Ooh, nice dodge on the hook as well. Dude, he's been dancing around these hooks on Billy. And okay, finally, Rasputin realizes why it's been so easy for him to dodge these hooks. Gets the D ward. They had this ward literally at the beginning of the game. And it's one of the reasons why it took them so long to find that first blood. I'm actually kind of surprised Royalty only sniff it out now that they're being covered with the vision like that.
The thing is, like, he hit those 2 early hooks. And then after that, it's just been dancing shoes. But Billy also went for like the boots first item. So I guess that was kind of the point. He felt if he had movement speed in this lane that he won't go down. But this oh wait, Snap goes down bottom.
Odyssey got the kill. It was... Yeah, it's just a snap fire. Fine.
Just do the Spark Wraiths. And they do those annoying, disgusting little ghost dragons. What are they? Like...
What they are is pain. That's what they do.
Fair enough.
I
honestly hate this. Of all these spells, I think the only spell I hate more than Spark Wraith is like old techies remote mines. It's the only thing that annoys me more than the Spark Wraith spell. I hate the spell so much, dude.
I hate Spark Wraiths more, especially when for some reason this Arc Warden gets an Ags, and then it's just as a support you just can't move in a fight. Like it just respawns and hits you and respawns and hits you, and you just okay, just get me out of this game. Oh, Dragonite kills him middle.
Oh, what? Alright, my bad everybody. I had said that there's not much gonna happen in this lane, but a solo kill from a DK into a Puck, just heads up. That
he's
is...
not hitting the tower though, like he needs to be hitting the tower with this dragon form. No, he's pushing it out. He's backing away! Phoenix?
Phoenix, hello? Phoenix? Phoenix? He let the Siege Dragon like die from 100 to that was very peculiar.
That's a big mistake. That's a big
if I'm
mistake.
Jerry, honestly, it doesn't feel so bad to have died anymore after all of that.
No,
like he wasted the whole duration.
Like he had more than half duration on the dragon form left over, and
Missed the stun. Oh, now
Let's
he's
play
using the
this
foil.
middle though. Okay, some very awkward plays happening here from Royalty Esports. Although they made a big mistake from WRG, they might still be able to punish. They almost brought down the puck immediately again, but instead it's going to be Rasputin that ends up falling. Major miscommunication between the puck and the Grimstroke leads to the DK being able to survive this fight here, Notahero. How is he still alive? How is the tower taking no damage? What is happening in this mid lane?
Like, Phoenix didn't pressure that mid tower with, like, basically his entire Dragon Form duration still available. And a catapult. And then Puck comes back in, doesn't use coil when he has Ink Spell on top of him. Dragonite pops double damage and they still go for the kill. Just I don't know, maybe it's getting late at night, Snare. The lads are... And also, like, nerves, man. Like, this is game 3. Like, this is upper bracket or lower bracket. Like, you don't want to go down to that lower bracket. You want to, like, stay where you are. You want to stay relevant. You want to stay in the up. Have that little safety net still available to your team. And I guess the guys are just trying, like too hard, because that was a big series of misplays by both sides. Like, Phoenix should have hit that mid tower with the catapult. Dragon Form. I know there was a DD top, but it doesn't matter. Like, your DK for ulti is up. You need to be hitting this tower. And Pog Daddy, this tower has lost 100 HP. He'll be more than happy with that. Oh, smoke up
Might lose his life here though. Yeah, his life is forfeit. They got him. He went the wrong way. He didn't manage to break the smoke on the high ground, so they catch him whilst he's in the river. That's gonna be a very quick kill. Phoenix on a killing spree. He also just got back the ultimate right now, so we'll see if he decides to pop it, put some pressure on the tower. At the same time though, Shadow Tricks was in a lot of danger, but he does TP out to safety from this bottom lane because Odyssey has now cracked level 6.
Pog Daddy should have also known though, like it's action runes now. Supports, like your better teams will always rotate towards these action runes to secure them. Like any mid player, like up and coming, if you're playing against better players, like the 6-minute rune, the 8-minute rune, the supports will be there to secure them. Because it's a big foothold into the game at the moment with how fast Dota is. And because of that, the Puck's rotation, he died. There's no obs here. They just smoked up and killed him.
He doesn't have any defensive prowess in that situation, so he has a ward on the other side, but should have maybe read that. Well, no one showed up on this one side, maybe they'll be on the other. It was also kind of dangerous to walk through the river at this stage of the game, but bottom we have a jump going directly onto Odyssey. Will he end up losing his life here? He's so close. Shadow Tricks really wants this kill. Will be able to get it, but it will cost the life of the Beastmaster. However, that was the full ultimate from the Lich, committed for this one with the full Chain Frost. Rust able to survive on 100 HP, and they do not have the movement speed to catch up to him. Fairly immobile heroes in the Grimstreak or Lutch. Yeah, both 6.
Sub 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's actually very impressive from both of them.
That's like Shadow Shaman's still level 5. Like Snapfire, okay, Snapfire 6 as well. Like, what is going on? I guess it's all these kills on the cores. Like, there's Puck kills middle, like this rotation now, bottom killing the Beastmaster.
There's a remove top as well. They want to get the kill onto Tiger. He's dead. There will be a dismember. They throw in the fire snap cookie from Rust as he made the TP in, but it's not gonna help. And now the hook from Shaz catching out onto Billy as well. That Shadow Shaman will end up losing his life. Rust throws in the Morty's Kisses, will be able to get at least a counter kill onto the Pudge. But that is a 2-for-1 exchange. Mid lane, they want to try and get Phoenix here as well. He will be able to at the very least still reach onto the double damage rune. But there is now many heroes surrounding him. Is he tanky enough to survive through all of this? Inkswell catches him. He's only at half HP. They still do not have the tank enough to kill him. He falls very low. But yeah, man, that's the issue with these heroes. They don't like threaten you. We spoke about it. Unless they get the Chain Frost with the combination of the Soulbind, they actually can't kill any of these heroes.
Like, and that was everything. That was an Inkswell, that was a Dream Coil. Like, Puck hit him like 3 times with orbs and just walks it off. And he's smoked up, going for a counter kill. He's got Blink on this DK. There's no one bottom though. Shazzo is going to run into this if he keeps going to bot. They're actually looking in the jungle. But they see Odyssey top. Like, I don't know who they're expecting to find. Probably Pog Daddy.
There's a Sea Dragon coming in middle, so if they can get this wannabe kill, this could actually turn into a huge dividend onto the tower. And not only the Sea Dragon and the Dragon Knight form, but they also drop the Mad Serpent Wards. Alright, they're saying, we made a mistake last time here, Notahero, but this time around, we will use everything that we have available to try and take this tower. Although Royalty, can they defend this? This TP is a very optimistic one.
They should just drop a Lichestol there though. Oh, well, the Arc Warden. Okay, that's the double. That's fine. Hook misses. Good coil.
But the Dream Coil does not catches multiple heroes, and there's going to be the Dismember, but they still don't have the damage to really threaten Phoenix. He's staying on the edge of the fight. There's the Soulbind now, but Primal Roar onto Pudge, preventing him from being able to move forward. The Chain Frost will drop. It kills Beastmaster, as well as the Shadow Shaman. They're very decent bounces, but now here comes Phoenix. Back in, Dragon Tail stun. Onto Puck. Puck is still alive! Still ends up dying though at the very end of it, and Tiger survives on 70 HP. With all the damage he stole away, he turns it around on the rest of the lineup. All these heroes show up, and unfortunately, it was a huge 9-hero fight. But you know who didn't show up here? Not a hero. Odyssey, the real one, didn't come to the fray, so they lacked that little bit of extra punch that they could have used in that kind of engagement.
I also think they needed to play that back a little bit, and you needed to use that link with the Lich ulti. Lich was still respawning. He used the link on the far right-hand side of that fight, and the Lich TP'd in on the left, and like they just never could go. The Lich bounces were nice, it secured them 2 kills, but you want to, that's how you're going to have to take these fights. You have to do links into double Lich ultis, because there's nothing else that's going to combo with this link. You're just going to use it to try and stop heroes from running away. And with good team communication, they'll still run away. Oh, bottom, Rasputin is dead.
Very dead. Bye-bye, my friend. And they will trigger Eye of the Storm for this. Whatever. This spell has such a low cooldown and such high effective uptime that kind of doesn't matter anyway. They are going to try and turn this into a... Yeah, I was about to say, do you think they should too? They've been scouted. Yeah, they're being perfectly scouted. Odyssey's going to give up some gold on the Tempest double here. Oh, no, he won't. It expires. The very last moment. All right, nicely done. There will be Morty's Kisses thrown in behind the tower here. Shaz taking the brunt of this damage. Tiger trying to chase him down here. But Tiger might have gone too far. Dismember will be there as Puck TP's in with the Dream Coil. And they have enough damage to find the kill. Chain Frost bouncing magnificently in this fight. Literally perfect bounces, not a hero. It will enable them to get multiple kills for the Puck. We'll also be able to clean up Shadow Tricks. Double for Puck Daddy. 3 heroes overall. And
I don't know how that turned out so well.
Oh, dude, they lose the tower
those Lich bounces like saved that engagement, because like that looked terrible. Like
Puck Daddy actually get that deny. What a player.
It looked so bad though. Like good, they got that deny on the tower as well with all those those snakes.
Yeah, that's why I'm so impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I get 3 kills, like Puck getting the XP on all of them and tower deny, like taking that gold away. But the map is starting to get smaller. They've taken the top tier 1 on the side, like for Dire. But this mid tower is still very healthy, and they don't really have ways of sieging until Arc Warden, like mid to late game. But it's gonna be an issue. They're gonna have to like get like hectic team fights. Okay, Pudge is going phase boots. He's going for the hood again. Like I don't like this. Like it delays them way too much. He needs this blink dagger. He needs a BKB, or even a Lotus if you don't want to go BKB. It's a massive Lotus game. Like there's so many, like Dragonite stun, Shadow Shaman spells, Beastmaster Roar, Razor Link. It's a huge. You spoke about the Lincolns earlier. Has he got it queued? No, he's going Kaya Sanj.
Kaya Sanj is an okay option. Mid lane, just gonna have a quick kill onto Wannabe. Oh wait, no wait, Odyssey goes forward. That was a very awkward situation, but they might be able to kill Phoenix off the back of this. The hook won't connect onto anybody but Billy, but there's a 2-hero Dream Coil onto these heroes on the high ground. They've already killed Billy. Now Phoenix's life is forfeit next. Rust cannot escape this by any stretch of the imagination as he finds himself getting ran down. Alright, Whiterabbit Gaming. When they saw the Arc Warden come into them, honestly, they had enough to just, because it was a real one. If they jumped him immediately, maybe they find that fight. Yeah, but then they got scared. They thought it was a Tempest double. They ran away and they got hard punished for that one, not a hero.
He's got 1,200 HP. Like, yes, he's doing damage because he's got this Midas plus Maelstrom, and the Midas is on. It's not off CD, so let's flame the. Okay, no, the Midas has been used now, but yeah, let's flame the Midas use as in pubs would happen. But yeah, like he was just like free roam there. Like I don't know, like Phoenix panicked when the Arc Warden came in because they wanted to kill the Lich, but he could have just turned. Like you said, breathe fire. Arc Warden hates it, but at the moment he's just doing magic damage, and it's still setting him up for maybe this double Gleipnir build. What's he do? He's getting Boots of Trouble next, pretty standard, and then I want to see what he's going to build next on this hero, because like double Gleipnir at the moment feels really good. How far is Razor off BKB? 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold, yeah. That's why it was so crucial for him to avoid the gank coming into him. He was in the bottom lane, he was in a bit of danger, but him evading it keeps the game going. He'll get to the BKB
Road
timing.
on.
It is slower than I expected though. Him stopping over for this Falcon Blade, we often do see this from the safe lane Razors, but they haven't been able to connect with the fights that they really wanted to fully. Like a lot of these engagements, he's gotten there, able to take part of the
They gave
fight,
it
but
to
not
DK?
everything. They gave it to DK, yeah. They dropped mass
Why?
open wards as well on top of this, and they still smoke up. This is a bit of a peculiar smoke.
DK is a horrible Aegis carrier. Like no dragon form on your second life. Like, do you just fight with like normal? I don't know. Like I don't like
I guess
this.
Razor wasn't there though. Like Razor was farming triangle, so they didn't want to like sit there and be like, well, we have this Aegis. They don't know where.
No
Royals
mana on
have
the Beast
double
Master.
wards.
No mana
He has to
at
go
all
home
on the
actually. He
Beast.
can't do
Yeah.
anything.
Like I don't know. They smoked up and he's looking, but he doesn't. There's no soul ring, no mana. He only got 2 stick charges.
On the bright side though, he does scout out their smoke because they smoke underneath an Observer Hawk, so he knows that they are coming. They can set up for a fight for this, but he can't actually. He actually has to run away. Like you say, he doesn't have mana, so him sitting here is a bad idea, and he's sitting
He's still spamming
underneath an
spells.
Observer Ward.
He's got 2
Shadow
seconds.
Tricks, mate, you know this is coming. What's happening? Shadow Tricks! Shadow Tricks, run! Oh no, he didn't run. He didn't run. Well, he's just dead. Morty's kisses get dropped in, but what's that gonna do when there's this many units to tank it all up? In fact, Russ has stood still for too long. Might have found himself dying here. This is Odyssey. This is a Spark Wraith. And the Spark Wraith will indeed end up getting a kill onto you. 2 heroes die literally for nothing. They knew it was coming, not a hero. Why didn't they
And
run?
also, like, no mana. He had 2 clarities on this courier, but like that's not gonna stop him off. Like, and like you said, they like he had the hawk in the right place. Like they saw that smoke, and you end up losing 2 heroes. So, like they committed the Morty's kisses there, and like if he had raw, it might have been a counter kill. Like even okay, cool, I'll die. But at least with the Morty's kisses, we get a counter kill. But that wasn't the case. Like he didn't have mana, couldn't draw. They didn't even use coil for that. So a royalty fighting fit still. They still have Lich ulti. They still have Link. They have everything. Smoked up again immediately. Here we go.
Tiger, where you at, fam? Okay, he does avoid getting caught in the triangle. So, I have bad news for you here, Notahero. So, remember earlier I was saying I used to play a lot of Razor, and I don't play it as much since I moved to playing support.
Feel about that, Snare.
Hold on. Well, let's feel. We'll talk about it after Billy dies, because no, he's actually fine. Unless he runs right now. Okay, that's fine. So, I used to play a lot of this Razor hero, in the safe lane especially. And I've lost many games from this exact position that WRG are in right now. I guarantee you that if they don't take the next team fight and win it decisively, and winning means also taking down at least another tower somewhere on the map using the DK form and the mass weapon wards, the game's actually impossible. Because he can't like solo carry this game.
Yeah, and there's also go time at the moment on Razor, and they're kind of just playing passively. Like he's got a 9-second BKB. Like this is where you want to go. Like foot on the put the foot on the gas. Like let's run at them. Dragon Knight has dragon form. We've still got Aegis for 2 minutes. But it's just passively farming at the moment. So he's got something flying out on the courier. Okay, now he's sending it to the secret shop for the health ring.
I guess they're waiting for BKB on the DK, but this is also not the hero that carries from the mid lane, right? On this Dragon Knight hero. He's a very tempo-centric. You want to be able to make sure that you're in a winning position as early as possible. So they're trying to force it now. They're moving top lane. They brought everybody here from WRG. They are stronger technically with this Aegis. And they'll pop the Dragon Knight form. Start forcing out this push. Jump forward, Rust. Okay, that was a very, very, very optimistic blink coming in from the Snapfire. Might end up costing his own life here. It will be a pause at the worst time ever. I do not know. It looks like somebody's internet dropped. DC on the Grimstroke. This is the worst possible time because now they have time to try and set up for this fight here. WRG need to run. I don't think they can take this fight. I think they need to get out of here ASAP. There's a Blink Dagger available on the Phoenix, but his BKB hasn't arrived just yet. Shadow Tricks is very far away from the fight.
Stuck there, but I'm back.
You're back. All right, so who wins this fight right now? Since they're about to respawn, and oh no, that's a bit of a problem. Well, that gives us a bit of time to talk about the upcoming fight here. So I don't know why he blinked forward on Rust, but I think this might end up losing his team this fight because now both him and Billy are in prime position to get caught with the Dream Coil. If they can die really, really quickly before Shadow Tricks gets to the fight, and then suddenly WRG I don't think they feel too confident about taking a fight 3v5 under these conditions.
But it all depends on how the Grimstroke is going to play this. Like he needs to put a link onto Rust and Billy immediately, and if that happens, I think the fight is theirs because they can kind of play it back. Like Pudge can go to the right and look for a hook play, and Puck can just spam from range. But because like Odyssey is in a really good position here on the Arc Warden. Like, look where his Tempest double is, look where his Euro is. Like, he can just play this fight with the double. Like, he doesn't need to, like, it's a fresh duration, there's still quite a bit of timer left on it. Like, he can, with this Grimstroke link, he can play onto these two heroes and probably kill both these supports. Because the bubble's on the tower as well, they don't need to worry about the tower.
Alright, let's see how it goes. It's super easy play. Soulbind, Lich Chain Frost, Pog Daddy finishes it up. Let's see what they've got here. And nope, they don't make the turn. He doesn't turn fast enough. They still end up getting the Dream Coil out though. One kill already. Shadow Fiend. Well, not Shadow Fiend, Shadow Trick on the edge of the fight here. There's going to be the Soulbind coming out, but they've already utilized the Chain Frost. Odyssey finding himself right next to the Pudge, who just got Dream Coiled, Primal Road, and then beaten down by Tiger with the Eye of the Storm. Okay, WRG.
Don't get the double Lich ulti.
That was, I'll be honest, very awkward, let's say awkward execution from Royalty. Let's be euphemistic in that regard. It didn't go as expected.
I also don't think they should have been contesting that. Like, their lanes are still not pushed out again. Like, we spoke about that in the previous game, and it was a big part of why they struggled. Like, this bottom lane's pushing in, mid is kind of in limbo, and top lane was where they wanted to take a fight. Like, if they had these bottom lanes pushed in, like, WRG would have to commit heroes to different lanes to push them back, and then you can go for a pick afterwards. And now they don't have ults. Like, Grimstroke ulti still 50 seconds. I guess, like, at least Grim and Lich ulti CDs are, like, in sync, but we haven't seen the combo yet this game, and it must be why they picked it.
There's no other reason to pick both of these supports, especially one after the other. It has to be with a mind towards getting that big combo and being able to utilize it in tandem with the Puck. Speaking of Puck, a little bit of danger present right now because Pog Daddy needs to move away from this bottom lane as they smoked up from WRG. Have the blink available on Phoenix, so he's got that big initiation. Aegis does now expire though. A Puck. Oh no, my friend. He's dead. Will he get enough help here to survive? It doesn't look like it. And they have enough in the tank. I am so shocked that he went for that. Why did he go for that?
Like, there's no one showing top. There's no one showing middle. Their lanes are not pushed out. Like, WRG is just going to smoke and run at you. Like, they have to get these lanes out, otherwise they cannot play Dota. There is Boots of Trouble on the Arc Warden. He is going the Nightmare build, which I wanted to see. He's almost got it. He just bought it. Like, Arc Warden is fight ready now. Yeah, like, he's going to go Aether Lens next. He's basically fight ready. Like, he can join these fights with both the Hero and the Tempest, and he will cause so much damage. But
they need him sooner than later because they've already made the jump immediately into this mid lane. They've gotten a quick kill onto both Rasputin and Shaz. Two heroes brought down. Mass support was committed. They're going to get this here too. And with the DK form still online as well, they can try and force the situation on the high ground here. They do have buybacks. Jump in onto the Tempest double. Odyssey will not be able to defend this one forever. They burst it down. That's a BKB Tiger though. Alright, I think they have to leave now.
Yeah, he's got the Gluttony. They can fight this.
They're not buying back on this Pudge. He will pop the fortification right now though, forcing WRG to make a decision. Will you stay and fight? They really should fight this. That's why I'm so surprised. I thought he was going to pop back immediately. Oh, but he did the snakes. They get him out with the Fire Snap quickly though, but there's still going to be a Dream Coil on top of him. Phoenix finally gets his BKB back online though. Will be able to pop it to try and run away. Pudge. Yeah, but he also buys back literally 5 seconds before he would have respawned anyway, just because of the ward trap. Oh, Royalty, very frustrating last minute or so where things were so close now to Hero. There were so many occasions and opportunities for them to try and really turn this game around, but unfortunately they aren't able to exploit it.
They need to get these lanes out to play Dota, and they're just not doing it. And then they're getting caught 2-3 heroes, like behind their tier towers. Like, you're gonna get jumped. Like, there's a blink on Snapfire, there's a blink on this Dragon Knight. Helm of the Overlord is coming out of the Beastmaster now. So it's just like this Pudge is not having an effect at all. Like, you went for this Hood plus Vanguard again, and it just makes it so hard to hit hooks, and it makes it so hard to get into these fights. And the damage the WG have at the moment, it's going through this Vanguard and Hook. Like, it's not going to keep you alive.
I mean, we can even compare and contrast his performance in game number 1. The moment he picked up Blink Dagger, life just became way easier. Wasn't wholly reliant on the hook. You can just blink forward, get the dismember off. And it's not just starting the fight for your team. It can also double up as a save mechanism when somebody else gets jumped in a way that Hook really can't. So very surprised that he's still stuck by this build. And it's really costing them right now. They have very few routes of initiation, and also because he bought back for that last fight at the worst possible moment, that means that the blink dagger timing is going to be even more delayed than it already was by buying the hood.
Even if he like picks up a casual shard now, because he's level 13, he's the same level as his POS 5. It's really hard at the moment to play this Pudge. Like, then just kind of try and be a savior. Like, get shard, try and save someone that gets Dragonite stunned. Just try and make a move or make a play. But I do think they need this blink. Because at a point now, like, he can't just blink into these fights anymore. He's not tanky enough. He's only got 7 flesh heap stacks. It's 2000 HP. These heroes are going through it. But Ark is sieging. Like, he is splitting the map very well. Odyssey's playing it very nicely. Rust is sitting top, waiting for someone to show.
He saw Pog Daddy walking past the observer ward. He thought he might go deeper, but Pog Daddy has learned from his experiences in the bottom lane. He's like, maybe not overextend. Now he's also learned, not a hero, he's learned that it's time to get defensive. Sanj and Kaya and the Linken Sphere are going to come out. So even if you get past the Linkens, he has status resistance, but if you don't, Linkens will pop the initial jump from the side of WRG.
Yeah, this Linken's is a big pickup for him. He's got the Kaya. Is he gonna finish the Sanj first? I would just go straight Linken's now. Like, it'll give him the HP that he needs.
Let's see, and he already bought the Void Stone. Yeah, I agree. It does make a lot more sense for him to just go heads up on the Linkens. At this point, it's like... I just
feel Royal supports are like they're too hugging. Like both of them are always like around the cores, just trying to like play like, hey, I'm going to save you, but they don't have the items to save. So they just need to get this Lich in a lane. He's going Lotus. That's good. Like it's a really good Lotus game. But they need to just like deep push these lanes where the carries can't go. Like mid's pushed in again. Like no one's taking it. Like there's Lich now, but this lane shouldn't even be here at the moment. Are they rushing again? Yeah. They use snakes for it, which is...
Alright. These next 5 minutes are terrifying because they have Aegis in hand, and they have, of course, also finished the refresher on Tiger. So he's got double Eye of the Storm with the double BKBs in the midst of the fight. This is... You don't get much stronger than this on the side of WRG. So this is a time that I'm looking forward to them just going to try and end the game. And right now, what items do we still need left? We haven't actually gotten the Linken Sphere from the puck just yet. Odyssey still trying to build into getting an Ags as well. But the most concerning thing is we do have this Blink Dagger from Shaz, but still very, very squishy on the Pudge. Overall, not the tanky Pudge that we're often used to seeing in these engagements. So can die very early. And Blink on Shaman.
Which is a nightmare for puck.
Yeah, worst thing for puck. You talked about how this is the puck counter, right? Well, there's a reason why they first picked this. This is one of the rationale. Get that instant disable. And do you remember there was a point in time where we would literally see Shadow Shaman Lion first phase every game because of like Storm Spirit Puck being second phase every single game. And this is how you would deal with it. Just get the blink and immediately shut him down.
And they just siege. But like now Pudge and Grimstroke is just standing here like already. Like I understand that they're setting up for the defense, but it's just it's wasted time. Like both of them have a TP ready. They could be out on the map, trying to get that little bit of extra farm and then TP back to the defense. They need to look for stragglers now, but WRG is not TPing out. They're sticking together. But they've got the Death Ball going again. Like Beastmaster is ready. Humble the Overlord. He's also getting a Blink Dagger next, which means everyone on the team will have Blink Dagger except Razor, but he's got Spider Legs. So creepy crawlies.
Spider Legs, 4-point Storm Surge, still very, very speedy. Oh, nice hook. They catch Rust. This should be a kill. They did mess up their play a little bit by not getting the early Ixwell, but doesn't matter. Shaz still happy to commit the Dismember in that situation. All right, 45 seconds. At this point, the strategy for Royalty Esports is buy space and time. Any kill like that you get, you should immediately have a Tempest double bottom. There we go. Odyssey sends it in. And Puck can start playing a bit more aggressively now to keep pushing these lanes out. Does decide to finish the Sanj and Kaya though, instead of going heads in for the Linkens. Not too sure about that decision, but at the very least it does mean that it's less likely you go 100-0 anytime you just get looked at funny.
I don't think WRG should have backed here. Like, I understand that they are hero down, but they have Aegis. Here's the slows.
Slows are out. Dismember going in. You just mentioned that they backed on the side of WRG, and that means that Shadowtrix gets left all alone inside the Radiant jungle. This is really, really bad. This is the time that you wanted to be getting a lane of racks, utilizing this Aegis timing. Now you have to wait for Beastmaster to come back, Snapfire to come back, and by the time they both come back, the lanes will be pushed more out.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, losing the snap there is one thing, but I think they could have stayed and fought. But losing the Beastmaster, that's a big part of your team fight. Like the Raw, like he's got the Helm of the Overlord, he's got Dive Bomb on the Hawk, so I do think Royalty needs to play the map now. Like they need to be going at this. There's no Beastmaster. I guess they don't want to fight into ages. It's 2 minutes. Just wait it out and just try and get those last items on the heroes.
Honestly,
what do we need here? Like, yeah.
I was gonna say that it almost feels like it doesn't matter too much. It matters a lot that they're not out on the map right now because it is delaying their potential timings. But the only as long as they're not being pushed onto the high ground, I think it's fine because this WRG lineup raises like the crowning jewel of their damage output. And eventually, the BKB, though, the thing that enables Razor to just run headlong into the fight, dishing out that damage, is going to be much less of a factor, even with the double refresher. Like, you can kite him around for a substantial amount of time. And the rest of his team are not going to feel that good. Nice hook yet again. This time around, great play with the Inkswell, and they've immediately gotten the kill. Tiger rushes forward with the double Eye of the Storm, looking for heroes, but they're kiting it. We just spoke about it. They have so many ways of extending the range, and he's losing HP. He's about to die here. That's the Aegis Sniper. When he comes back, he will not have Eye of the Storm because he popped both of them. Snakes are now being manhandled here. Rust, who is already dead and can't really assert himself in this fight, and they've gotten the full cleanup of the creep wave of the snakes, and they're keeping their high ground alive right now. Etienne, not a hero. This game's over. Real talk. This game's actually over.
There's no BKBs now. They can just run at them. Like, this Arc Warden has got an Octarine core. If he catches these heroes, like, oh, nice blink though.
Nice blink.
But they haven't pushed out their lane, Snare. Look at the lane still pushing in.
Odyssey, Tempest level maybe? Throw on top, my friend. Thank you. Does the right thing at least. So, at least one person is hearing you. One person is like, I want to keep pushing these waves out. I'm doing what I can, fam. I'm very surprised where that puck isn't right now immediately in the bottom lane shoving that wave out.
Smoke coming from WLG. But there's no BKBs. Like, this is a horrible... Oh, how is this Razor's BKB back up again? It's a 90-second CD. Like, that can't be 90 seconds. Did he not use it on... He didn't... He refreshed and then he didn't use a second charge of BKB, I guess.
I think that's probably what happened, yeah.
Or it was just 90 seconds, I don't know. Like, no, because refresher's still on CD. Like, it's 170 seconds.
Yeah. He definitely refreshed in the fight. I'm not sure if he used a second BKB before he died. Top lane. Puck Daddy. Will he have the understanding to get out of here in time? And it seems that'll be the case. Splitting the map effectively. So he's not going to get caught. Does mean that this is more time that WRG have spent on the map, not attaining their objectives here. 3k gold lead for them now, but it has plateaued here. It's no longer increasing.
Radiant's courier has been
chilling in front of the secret shop.
What is on it? Oh, nothing.
No,
He's just waiting to buy the point booster.
Chilling there.
It's fine. He already has Octarine core, so it won't be too difficult for him to like mosey on over to the side shop down bottom, and then get the item back out from there. But he wants to be able to keep buyback, right? So it's not that big of a deal that he loses the courier right now.
Yeah, you can buy the point booster in the meantime, and let's just keep the rest of the gold for buyback. Oh, look at the couriers from WRG sitting like in the little jungle there above the secret shop.
All stacked up. Let's see, what items are they trying to buy? They need to get the AC finish for Tiger, so that it'll have the AC refresher BKB. If they can get themselves the next Roshan, and they are lucky, hopefully it'll be an Aghanims for them. Oh, Shaz almost got another hook. It's becoming a very... Mass up notes committed by Billy. They don't have a fortification this time around.
Why did he put on the
tower? Be able to take this.
He put shield on Fudge.
I don't know. I thought it was going to go on the tower as well. Oh well, it doesn't. And that's going to open up an opportunity here maybe for WRG. But look how much damage Phoenix is taking. Need to get him out of here. They're trying to force him to utilize his BKB. You know, reduce the timing to that ultimate 6-second level. Pudge hook, nice connection. It actually grabs the Pudge. Phoenix forced to pop BKB, but he might not actually be safe because Odyssey has a decent amount of right-click damage, but the Tempest double does expire. Primal Roar will buy space and time by going in onto Shaz, but the Lotus Orb was there immediately to dispel it. Hook not gonna connect.
Lich ulti just bounced to one creep and then expired.
All right.
That's BKB's used, and they lost nothing. So Royalty back in this, like they're still in this game. The double's in, he's looking for heroes. He's got the eggs now.
Did he finish it? He did. Oh, hook, unfortunately, from Shaz connects onto the Tempest double rather than onto opponent heroes.
This Arc Warden eggs is so horrendous. You can't go high ground into this. Like, if you don't kill Arc, don't. Like,
dude, this game's over. I don't know what you mean. Like, the WG has lost. It's just gonna be a slow loss now. We're gonna be here for a while, maybe like another 30 minutes. But in my mind, the only way Royalty loses this game is with like horrendous mistakes. Like Odyssey has to AFK from the keyboard a little bit. He has to do that thing. Have you ever had those awkward players in your team where like they'll send the Tempest double top, go send be like whatever, go suicide to a tier 2, and then only afterwards realize, oh snap, that was my real hero. Crap. You lost the game, boys.
Yeah. Well, not just players, I've done that. I'll openly say it, I've done it. Like, oh wait, this is not my double. Like, it's the wrong hotkey.
But I think honestly that's the only way that they lose this game at this point. I think WG has missed the window. They don't feel nearly as strong as they did like 5 to 10 minutes ago, and they still had that Aegis. So I'm not sure if they can dive in and take fights anymore.
Woo. Oh. I just did a nice little stretch there, preparing for this nice little end to this three series we have going on here. And I just want to give a shout out to every single person that's tuned in tonight. Like we close to 100 viewers so far. Like it's absolutely amazing to see the support. Like everyone's like, thank you for being here. It's late at night. We're sitting at 94 viewers currently. It's massive. Thanks to everyone. Like EGL season 3. Oh wait, fight going on top. They got the fudge.
Shaz is dead. They also got the puck. That's a much bigger pickup here. No Lincoln Sphere finished just yet. Only has the Sergeant Kaya. They try to buy time using the bubble from Odyssey, but it's not going to be enough. That magnetic field will only be there for decoration as they've lost 3 heroes now. They might be able to get a quick kill onto Tiger though, taking quite a bit of damage from Odyssey, but not enough damage to really threaten his life. Well, I was saying that this game is over, barring some catastrophic mistakes. Those are the kind of mistakes you can't afford to make here, Notahero. Opening up the path to Roshan and potentially giving WRG the lifeline they need back into this game.
It's just mistakes, man. This Pudge still needs his BKB. Like, he's holding buyback plus BKB, which he has to do. But the thing is, BKB, just BKB's TPs in that scenario. There's nothing. Beastmaster's not in range. You can just get out. And Odyssey is keeping on pressure. Like, he's taking the bot tower in the meantime. So they will have to look at this bot Drax, like with this Arc Warden double. But he kind of needs his double now for this high ground push. Like, he can't send it to a side lane. How far is it gets back up? It's basically always up with this Octarine, man. Like, it's so dumb. And like when he hits 25, 50% Tempest double cooldown reduction. Yeah, it's.
I mean, he doesn't need it, right? 30-second cooldown, 26-second duration. Everything is very, very good. Mid lane though, his efforts will be needed once more to protect this lane of Rax. Magnetic Field doing quite a bit of work. One of the things I also hate about this hero is I feel this spell needs a rework or something. This is so stupid. This should not be allowed to be this simple.
I just think MKB needs to work against it. That's all. Like it works against heroes, but for some reason, if you have an MKB and he puts the bubble, you can't put a building. What is that? It doesn't make it.
Actually, what they should allow, you should just be allowed to put Bloodthorn on buildings, man.
Okay. Well, while we at it, let's Dagon them as well, Snare.
Yeah, why not, bro? Give me like a building Dagon, like a bazooka. That must be a new item. Give me the bazooka. Yeah, man.
Yeah. A Daizuka.
There we go. That's the new Dagon upgrade. Past Dagon 5 is Dagon Zuka.
Yeah, and it's just like bomb buildings. And it has 2000 cast range.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Like, bazookas don't shoot like right in front of you. They travel.
Yeah. And it's homing. It can shoot through vision. Like, you don't actually have to have vision of the building.
And the entire travel distance, it gives vision as well. So if anyone's in that area, you'll spot them. And it plants a ward right where it hits.
And if it hits a building, that building can't regenerate, you know? Take it siege damage.
And it becomes your building for 5 seconds. So if it's a tower, it hits the enemy team.
What? Let's not go crazy here, Notahero.
Oh no, that's over the line. Okay.
Pog Daddy, he died last time around because you were mentioning earlier that he should have finished Lincoln Sphere. He made the decision initially to go Sanjay Kaya. It literally did not help him at all. And now he realizes his mistake, comes back, picks up the Lincolns. Now he has it available. So that last jump they made onto him, they can't necessarily make it again. So that was the last time you get an easy kill onto a puck in that kind of situation. Life becomes a little bit harder right now for WRG because most of the fights that they've won decisively have been fights where they've managed to deal with Pog Daddy.
Thing is as well, and they're not using this Aegis timing. It's just they've got 2 minutes left on it. Like they're trying to siege this mid again now. They're trying to deal with this arc warding pushing in bottom, but they have to use this Aegis timing. Like this is the main thing. Like there's all
Really hooked again. We've seen it so many times. He does manage to get down the mass open walls before he dies, but his team followed him. He saved a dismember for the DK. It's not going to be good enough to really have Phoenix be in danger here. Magnetic field will fall, so they're going to be able to finally chomp through the lane of Rax. Dreamcoil will connect onto several heroes as Shadow Trix gets hooked back into the base. Does have BKB though to protect them for now. Dragon Knight trying to jump onto the puck. Lincoln Sphere will break the Dragon Tail stun, but it doesn't matter. All they really wanted was the lane of Rax, and that's what they found here, Notahero. WRG finally make the timing work out for them.
Royalty's gonna have to start fighting outside the base because like there's just too much damage coming through. Like this AC plus the Shadow Shaman wards, Beastmaster aura, like your buildings are just melting if they even get close to it. They have to start taking fights outside. How far are they off BKBs on these heroes? Like okay, Pudge has his, it's been used that fight. I even think Arc Warden needs to get a BKB so he can fight with his hero and the double, so he doesn't just need to be fighting with one of them because he's kind of keeping his hero safe at the moment, which is the right play, but he needs to get away where he can get both of them into the team fights and play. There's a sheep now, so double Hex, double Gleipnir.
Double Hex, double Gleipnir. Lots of control coming in from the Odyssey Arc Warden, but we also need him to be supplying some right-click damage. We were talking earlier about the relative lack of it on the side of WRG. They've fixed some of it now, though, as Phoenix has picked up a full data list. This, in tandem with the Aghanim Scepter, does mean that DK is certainly no slouch in the right-clicking department, and they've now smoked up, trying to deploy this item in the midst of the team fight. Look at this! Unfortunately for Wannabe, he was actually in a decent position to try and break smokes, but Tiger, one of the best heroes in the game for breaking up that kind of high ground ward spot where you lie low, hoping to break smokes. Just pop Q, you see the hero, you kill them immediately. There is buyback now, but like you said, they need to try and think very carefully about where to take the fight, because if they get to the base with the Ags, with the Ags on DK, with Daedalus, with Shadow Tricks, with these wards again, this is going to be a second lane of Rax definitely here for WRG.
Biggest issue I'm seeing at the moment is like that Odyssey is not scaling XP wise because he keeps sending the illusion out. Like when we spoke about this 25 talent earlier, he was level 22. He's level 23 at the moment. Big fight coming up.
Big fight might be the last one. Shaz going directly in onto the DK. Odyssey has popped Tempest double, and there's a BKB from Shaz, keeping him alive for now. Inside the magnetic field too. Nice hook! They caught Phoenix! They caught Phoenix! He doesn't have an Aegis anymore. He's gonna die here. Odyssey on an unstoppable streak. They did get the tier 3 tower basically off the back of this, but they might be able to chase for more. As Pog Daddy leaving the base here, will he be able to find another target? Doesn't seem like he wants to make the forward jump without the Dreamcoil. So they trade in the DK's life in exchange for a tier 3 tower. However, for WRG at this point, they only care about damage of 1,000 cuts, so they're okay with this. Oh, look, did you see that play? Shadow Tricks predicting the where to throw the dive bomb in front of Shaz's face so they cannot use the Inkswell combo. Great stuff. We're seeing why, even when Tiny was available, they opted instead for the Shadow Tricks Beastmaster.
Because a hawk can fly into your face. I
Nicely
guess Tiny
done.
throws rocks at your face, but makes these heroes. But I like these little changes. Like it's given Beastmaster like a breath of fresh air after like Humboldt the Overlord was nerfed, and then we didn't see the hero for a while. Then people started realizing, like mainly from how 33 was playing the hero, like hey, this dive bomb thing is actually pretty good. It's also a great Lincoln's popper, so it can like literally just pop Lincolns, DK can then jump him. So if there's a little team like in play there, like they can definitely still kill this puck, like for Pog Daddy.
Check this out in terms of itemization. Rasputin has picked up an Aghanim Scepter, so we now have Dark Portraits online. Normally, this is not a great Dark Portrait game if I'm looking at these heroes on the side of WRG. However, given the DK's build, given how he progressed in this game, it suddenly actually becomes really, really useful. If you can get it onto him, exactly, to just after he activates the Black Dragon, then suddenly it's super, super good in these fights.
I don't know if you saw that game where I think it was OG, where they built Manta on Dragon Knights with Black Dragons. And the heroes never siege towers. They would just pop the Manta Black Dragons and put them on the tower, and they do the same amount of damage from the corrosion.
That sounds like an OG thing to do.
It's so dumb. Like, just Manta and siege these buildings. Like, it's absolutely disgusting.
Wow. Well,
where's this? They need to load this in.
Billy is going to be able to do his job of getting down the Mass Serpent Wards. I'm not even going to die for this. They've already committed the Dream Coil as well. Here's Tiger with the ultimate, getting dismembered though onto the high ground. Needs to be careful as his BKB is about to go down. Needs to pop the second one. Shaz will die, does have buybacks, so does the Lich, and they managed to get the catch onto both supports. Soulbind was committed, and there was a Dark Portrait as well, but it's not going to be good enough. Phoenix, though, gets hooked back in by the buying back. Shaz, Russ opening the Force off so that he can give Phoenix a way to escape this fight. Phoenix with the Lotus Orb as well now, just staying alive. These are 3 buybacks. They cannot allow this to just go like this. Billy got caught with the Gleipnir, but where is the follow-up? Oh, they almost got the kill on the connection onto Puck. Phoenix got hit with the X-Well. He jumped back in, but he didn't jump back in into safety. He's dead. 97 seconds in the grave. And now Shadowtrix needs to get out of here ASAP. Dismember coming back off cooldown in 8 seconds. They do have the X-Well online again, though. Shaz, can he find the angle for the hook? Not just yet. Gleipnir will be there. Shaz has blink in 8 seconds. Hex coming out. Odyssey, where's the team play? You are blocking, Shaz. He finally opens up the space to allow the hook. And that is going to be another kill for Odyssey. 2 heroes have fallen. Both of these cores will not be involved in the game. They do have buyback, and it did cost 3 buybacks from the side of Royalty. However, the rack stays standing, and they will not lose any of them in the bottom lane.
That Dark Portrait did some work, but we didn't have creep wave. But they need to try and force buybacks here. Like is Roshan's up? Like, oh, but good Billy.
Is he gonna solo this? Dude, no way.
I don't think he can solo him. Hey, like, is he tanky enough? Like, I don't think he can solo it.
Yeah, with 2 of them you can.
Yeah, they need to try and force buybacks here.
30 seconds before DK is online naturally. 40 seconds for the Beastmaster. We see Russ throwing in Morty's Kisses just to try and create space through this mid lane. Might have actually done the trick. I don't think they'll get any of these buybacks. They should run headlong into the Roshan pit, but they haven't gotten in enough vision around that area. So they'll only get the tier 2 middle push out of this at the end of the day. But it's proof of concept here, not a hero. It shows that they can actually win these fights if they position themselves correctly.
Yeah, like these BKBs are starting to wear down. The damage is starting to ramp up. Oh, but this, okay, Awkward literally expired. It's the most frustrating thing. It gives you 300 gold. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get 300 gold, and then it just times out.
Eyes in your
like,
face,
right
yeah. It's so annoying, dude.
They're gonna head straight to this rush, but and I don't know if they can contest it. If they have vision down and they smoked up, they can do it. Like double link with Lich ulti in these fights. Like these BKBs are running down. It's definitely a play for them. There's the snakes dropped.
Honestly though, I hope they don't, because over the course of this series, it seems to be that for whatever reason, Royalty Esports just are really bad at fighting around the pit. So I'd rather them, you know, it sucks that they gave this up, and if they lose the game, it'll in large measure be because of that particular play, not going to contest this Roche. Yeah. For me, that's not the scary thing. And you got the eggs. That's the really scary part. This is the one item that they needed to still ramp up their damage, because they had plateaued before this point. Getting the Aghanim Scepter now suddenly makes Tiger a lot more dangerous than he was. And like you mentioned, triple Eye of the Storm is now a possibility if they want to go for that route. Nobody on the side of Royalty can stand up against that kind of damage.
Ooh. I don't know how they play this now. Like, this Ox build is so like magic oriented, but Razor has 3 BKBs now. He's got an overwhelming blink, so Puck, Octarine Core, Lincoln's, guys, like he needs to. Like, I wish this Puck would go like Shivas or something now, like just to like give them some additional armor against this Razor. Because there's no. Does Pudge have one? No. They don't have any like armor auras. No Wraith Pact, no AC, no Shivas, and this Razor's damage is like output is big now. With it like double ulti is already a lot. Now he's got 3 of them.
It's actually quite surprising now that you mentioned that they didn't build a Wraith Pact on anybody, considering you're playing into Beastmaster, Shadow Shaman, Razor. All of this is like big damage in an area, not necessarily purely single target. So it would have made a lot more sense to do so, but they don't have time to do that now. Right now they need to try and mount a defense here because they are coming in for this last fight. Wait, what? Spark Race automatically trigger on Hawks if they have vision? I did not know that. Okay, cool.
Okay, so kill
Fair
the Hawk.
balance. Yeah. Oh, they get a jump onto Razor here. This is one of the ways Tiger can still die. If he gets hexed, Odyssey can chain disable him, especially because Pog Daddy is also building a hex of his own. So you still need to be very careful. Bottom. Ooh, nice catch onto Russ. They're finally taking a fight outside of their base here. This is what you wanted. And they are listening to Coach Notahero, taking the advice on board. Although they do buy back on the Snapfire. They feel like they want to go in between the December.
Like this Odyssey is just chipping away at them.
Gonna go in though. Big quick fight. They get the kill onto the Grimstroke. He's dead. No buyback. The same is gonna be true of the Shaz Pudge very soon. Throws in the Dismember onto Tiger, but it does not matter. There's gonna be the Shackles out onto the Lich. Dead without buyback as well. At the same time though, Pog Daddy does have to bring down Billy, but this will not matter. They've gotten the second lane of racks fully completed. Pug does die outside of the fight, and Odyssey dies as well. Both of them forced to buy back. Tiger looking for a rampage. The Eye of the Storms are doing all the work in the world, but still going to end up dying inside the base. 100 seconds. Does have buyback though. Can return into the fray. Will they get more out of this? They're looking for Phoenix. This would be a dieback if the DK dies here. Would it be? No. He'd still be fine. But he must not lose his life easily, though. Buyback coming in from the Razor. Odyssey helping to just force them away here. They finally caught the Pog. If Pog Daddy dies, the game is going to end. And Pog Daddy will indeed die. Odyssey somehow has to stand alone versus the 5 heroes of WRG. They didn't even manage to take away the Aegis from the Dragon Knight. Looks like they've finally broken this game apart here, Notahero. Royal T Esports are out of options. They're out of damage, they're out of lives, and I think they are out of this game as well. Game number 3, it looks like it's gonna go the way of WRG.
It was just like some like little small mistakes, and like they kept hanging in there. But like Odyssey needs to delay this with the bubbles as much as he can. They do have a fortify still, like they've used it now. There's the bubble.
You can't do this. That's not gonna work out. Well, that's gonna be that. They go on top of the Ancient. One last hurrah with the magnetic field, but he knows that this is only delaying the inevitable. We'll at least try to jump in and kill Phoenix, but the Primal Roar will be there. The double Primal Roar to make sure that they have no counterplay option. And the racks will now fall. GG, well played as called. WRG take game number 3 in 52 minutes. They come back from a disaster of a game 1 and make this a competitive series. And they will be the first team to move forward in the winner bracket of EGL 1 Season 3.
What a series. Like, goes the distance, back and forth. Like, and the thing is, what I love to see is both teams got better, like, every single game. Like game 1, WRG adjusted. Game 3, I think Royalty adjusted a little bit. And, like, it was so touch and go. Like, they were so close to turning this game around and pulling it out. But well played to WRG. Massive performance. Just got the heroes, got the right picks, and I'm going to say this to all the other teams. If you're playing this squad, you can't let this Beastmaster through.
Nope. First ban. Every game. This can't be allowed. We saw the Skywrath Mage being banned early on by the side here of Royalty Esports, but it turned out that was not the hero that needed to be removed from play. This Beastmaster, they just play so well around it. Their understanding of where to go on the map to force some pushes, but more importantly, the vision that he ends up providing for the entirety of the squad is kind of ridiculous. And at this point in time, it does feel like this is their hero. So if you are going to be playing WRG, ensure that you deal with the Beastmaster. Also ensure that you are capable of playing good team fights. There were moments where it felt like one more hero death, one more reposition the hero. Maybe you end up in a situation where you get the dub back, but Royalty Esports now have a lot of lessons to learn once they go into the lower bracket. Before we wrap this one up here, Notahero, obviously WRG, you mentioned it that they got better and better each game. What's the one thing you think that Royalty Esports need to work on before they start playing these all-important lower bracket matchups?
just think they didn't play the map like to the best of their ability. They really need to like work on pushing out the lanes, and it's not just the cores that need to be doing it. Like I think their supports are too static, like for big portions of the game, and it's to protect their cores, but they're falling behind. Like these items like the Lotus Orbs and stuff, when they could be way more relevant, they should have come out, and that happens when your supports are getting farm, and they do that by pushing out lanes. Like they're always playing with their lanes pushed in, like on the back foot, and they just need to work on like their map movement. That's it. Like from skill perspective, team fight perspective, they are right up there. Just work on your map movement, who goes where, when do we fight, when do we smoke.
Well, with that amazing advice coming in from Coach Notahero, we are going to be wrapping things up here on the first day of EGL 1 Season 3. We have to remember that this is not just us here that's bringing you this action. Dell and Intel have been the ones to put up that 50,000 Rand prize pool, help us run this entire event, and ensure that these teams get the recognition that they deserve on their climb to being declared the best within South Africa. Now, as we wrap up WRG, we will be seeing them in future